All right, are we ready to get? I want to open up tonight. Yeah, I want to dig into conversations. I want to get into it tonight. I'm excited. I think we have another skeleton crew. Chris and Joe are still on assignment, so I'm going to go around the room real quick and introduce everybody. We got Dante the Destroyer.
What's up, y'all?
We got Marilyn Phil, aka the Velocithirster. We got Greg. Greg needs I got to get the name for you.
I thought about it, right? What did I say? House husband last time? Double H. Double H is in the building, and I'm back, baby. Let's go.
You know what's funny? I have when I got your number, it was at TFCon, and I saved your or afterwards because when you finally hit me up, and I saved your number as Greg TFCon, cool guy.
That's what's up. I like it.
And Chucky O.
Hey guys.
And of course, you know there's another Chucky O out there that is upset that he will never be the official Chucky O.
I'm number one.
Yep. So I want to start off with this. We're all men here, right? Manly men.
Yep.
I've always been the man.
What is your number one? We can go around the room. Anybody jump in? Time to let down the guard. John.
Oh, shit.
What's your number one? Anybody can jump in anytime. What's your number one insecurity?
Shit.
I don't know, man. Sometimes,
Yeah, people don't even like thinking about that shit.
I be worried about my smell sometimes.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you know what?
Because
You're like, he does stink.
well, with the stomach and everything, but also just like sports though, just
I
playing.
hadn't even considered that.
Yeah, it's true.
So that was a thing growing up. That was just why I was always throwing desk at people. It was like,
Throwing desk.
all right.
And also because you were emotionally compromised.
I mean, I wasn't going into that yet. I'm trying to get away from it. I just went to therapy yesterday, and we're working on that.
Working on you, man.
Working on me.
I love to hear it.
But I feel insecure about my smell sometimes. Like today at work, I was out there busting my ass. I got back to the office doing some deodorant, and it was like, then before coming out here, went home, wiped myself down, doing some deodorant. So if I stink, my bad, y'all. I'm trying. I'm working on me.
So I'll tell you a fun fact. And this has nothing to do with like, what are you?
Oh, my bad.
I thought you had a little asshole itch.
That's one of these, get up, shimmy your butt.
This has anything to do with like chemicals or following my pH balance or any of that. But I don't use deodorant.
Really?
Yep, I've never had to.
Wow.
Like I have it.
That's wild.
Like I have it ready to go.
Yeah.
But like,
Even
and
after-
I sweat.
Yeah.
Even
But
after like doing...
Yeah, if
mopping gear or
even if
anything?
I'm like I gotta be heavy mopping,
Wow.
and then usually after that it's not me, it's my clothes. If I change, it's done. Yeah,
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I've just never. It's just never been a thing for me, and I usually when I tell people that because like I was like, oh, well, we all know, but like yeah.
That's a powerful flex, my friend.
Yeah, indeed.
So you don't use roll or spray or anything?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Protecting the ozone, son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about
that's
spray.
true.
Relax.
So you
I
ever
don't-
use? You
I don't
don't
use
use
it.
cologne really either, right?
No, now I have. Now I can get fancy if I need to.
Yeah.
Like my wife has some. I think it's Dior that she has for me
Yeah,
up there. Like if
That she likes, yeah.
that if she wants me to get busy, but I rarely put that shit on. But I'm like the African dudes that Jamie Foxx or Jeff. I'm like, you smell like a chemical. Like I like that. Like I'm that way. Like I don't like this shit.
Dude, when you do those African voices, it's like,
I don't like this shit.
it's wild.
I don't like that shit. But I don't like it. What about you, Phil?
So I was going to say I psych myself out too easily. But then he brought up the smell thing, and I'm always like using.
You wet yourself out too much?
No, I psych myself out too easily.
Psych yourself out.
Like,
What do you mean?
Like, I guess overthink in combination with maybe lack of confidence, I guess.
Okay, so that's big shit. That's just to say on a microphone.
Then he brought up the smell thing, and I always
top 50 in UK.
I always have like some spray deodorant on me just because I always am worried about that too. But that was more subconscious. Like I never thought about that till he just mentioned it.
My confidence is an issue too. But then I just start yelling at people. No, really. Like when I start getting like real aggressive, like, oh, that dude's like super like his confidence is shook right now. Then I just smack him. And they're like, never mind. He's all right.
Greg?
Okay.
Double H?
Hey, look here. I've thought about this one for a while. It's stuck to me. So I've grown up, heavy set my entire life. And so long time ago, I used to go to public pool, right? Public pool. Everybody's going to public pool, so you probably already know where this is going. So I go to public pool. I'm young. I ain't thinking about nothing. Jumping in the pool, having a good time, right?
Oh man.
Big boy, what I call not tits, I have mitts. They're called man tits, mitts, okay? It might not be online, but I'm going to tell you to look it up anyway. So anyway.
Don't look it up.
So we jump in the pool, and a lifeguard is sitting there laughing. She's a female. She laughing with a couple other people. And she said, yeah, look, he's got bigger tits than me.
Dude,
Can I
when a
curse?
chick says
Yeah,
that,
of course.
Fucked me.
How old are you?
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
what, 8, 9 years old? And you hear it.
That's
So it's
brutal.
just like,
Oh,
damn.
damn.
And so it messed my head up. And I never went to the pool again after that.
Had you been heavier set your whole life, or
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
Okay.
And I had asthma, so had to take the asthma medicine and stuff like that. The steroids make you fat. I'm eating, whatever I want, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And so, that just messed my head up. And I mean, to this day, like, now, like, I got mitts, I mean, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I will never take my shirt off. Never.
Yeah.
I go to a pool, I'm wearing a tank top. I go to a beach, tank top. If I go out, period, tank top.
Yeah.
So on those days when it's summertime and I see those guys taking the shirt off, I'm mad, but at the same time clowning. I'm like, bro, it's not that hot. It's not that hot. Because if I can wear this tank top, you
But
can wear
the
it.
same thing, like it's funny, like because you would do it too, right? If you would take that shirt right the fuck off, it'd be like
If you know you're shredded.
If it was like 72 degrees, you'd be like, yeah, it's warm enough. You know what I mean? Just come right up out that bad boy. But like, it is like I do see people do it like that are. Like, so one is, I think it's interesting when you see a big dude take his shirt off and not give a fuck, you know, because then it does say something. Like it is like, it's that confidence thing. Where you're like, dude, like, this
Definitely.
dude,
He's got
he doesn't
nothing-
give a
he don't
shit.
care.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
like, he don't give a shit about his diet or how he looks with his shirt off. Like, so like, but like, in the same breath, like I see dudes sometimes like where I'm like, man, I can tell this dude takes care of himself, that he's watching what he eats. You know, he's not a fat dude by any stretch. Anybody, he's by any stretch, like, but I still, where he's at, wouldn't be comfortable
Yeah.
taking my shirt off with like if my shit doesn't look like Joe, you know what I mean?
And you got
Like,
them cum gutters.
I'm not, but I wouldn't say that. But mate, Joe's a wild dude. Joe's a wild dude. Also. But like I would never. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. What about you, Chucky O?
Well, it's kind of like you guys were cheating off my answers. So every time I'm like, oh, goddamn. My two kind of BS ones after that are math. I'm not Asian, but I'm not a math person. And a lot of
It all checks out.
people think that like, oh, you should know math. Like you should know how to divide and subtract and add. I'm like, damn. And it's not even geometry and stuff. So I suck at that. But leaning a little bit off of, absolutely. Like I am never in a pool. I was in a pool on Tuesday, never in it without a shirt on.
Yep.
The other thing for me is like, I shoulder hair.
You got Wookiee arms.
Yeah, nipple hair. I got
On the areola? Oh, just around. You're okay.
George Animal Steel.
He just showed us his chest.
so maybe that's a little false in terms of I just showed you my moob and my body hair. So
Move
I like
and
the word.
mitts.
See, move and mint. Let's go. Look it up. Move and mint.
That might be the title. I'm going to write it down tentatively.
Moobs and Mits.
Boobs and mitts.
So yeah, those are and just being a bigger guy, like there are those things that kind of that's I mean literally taking your shirt off and bearing who you are and insecurities there.
Mine's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like when I started gaining weight when I was a skinny kid, and I started gaining weight when I was in 4th grade eating 89 Batman cereal.
Oh shit!
And like it was Captain Crunch. I'd never had that shit before. Like, dude, we had Cheerios, and my dad is from the 40s. We had the cornflakes with the bird on it. That shit is trash.
Yeah, that is
like
trash.
like I got the tiger way late. I was like, he's way. The tiger's harder too than a bird. Like it's just a better all
Well,
around.
the Tiger's a stoner now.
Is he
Tiger's
really?
doing flavors. like strawberry milkshake, Frosted Flakes.
But still, even that has got to be better than that bird. That bird
it's
trash.
good, but it's funny because Tony used to be like the athletic, and now he's a stoner.
Oh wow,
he's making like cinnamon French toast shit, and it tastes good, but it's like, this is stoner cereal. This is not athletic.
That bird didn't even have any personality. It was more like a stencil.
Yeah, it was the stencil, just the flat image of the
Neither
red
did
and
that
green.
cereal.
Yeah,
awful.
The cornflake bird was trash.
Nothing.
So when Batman came out, I was obsessed with Batman, and I was like, I want the cereal, I want the toys, I want I want everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, this fucking shit is different. And I ate that shit by the box, and I started putting on weight. 4th grade.
Did you put sugar on it?
Yeah.
While you was eating it?
No, I didn't go that hard, but I will put sugar on Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut
Because that
Cheerios
shit
with
is
sugar. That's wild.
it's not sweet enough.
Right.
And and I'll put sugar obviously on the Rooster.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only like sugary cereal I'd put it on is Honey Nut Cheerios. And I'll eat regular Cheerios and drown that shit in sugar.
Yeah.
Like but that fucking 89 Batman cereal fucked me up. And I remember one time I started gaining weight and I didn't understand it because I'm in 4th grade. I'm like a kid. I don't understand the process, and I do feel like these kids today, they get a much better education
Early
of food
on.
and nutrition.
Yeah.
Like it's like so beneficial.
It's bigger than the food pyramid
It's
now.
dude, it's
they break it down.
100%.
The food pyramid's trash.
So I'm sitting there, I got homework. I didn't pay any attention in school, so I'm trying to figure it out. I got my grandma who was born in like 1919 or some shit, and my dad who was born in 1940, like before the Great War. He's sitting over there. They're trying to figure it out. But last time they went to school, they were fucking using an abacus. You know what I mean? So like they're trying to figure it out. I'm sitting over there, and I'm just looking at my stomach. I just took my shirt up, and I just grabbed my stomach. I just started moving it around. You know, like what the fuck, man? And then they caught me, and I looked over at them, and they looked over at me, and I just had my hands on my belly, and I was moving it around, and then I was like, "What's going on?" And my grandma, of course, a woman, because my dad would be like, "Well, you know, sometimes he'll come up with it's that cereal, it's that cereal." I'm telling you,
Take that cereal away.
But like, because I got like, I'm not like a super fat dude, but I'm not a comfortable taking your shirt off dude either.
No.
But I got that like floppy fat, like where it's like, it's not like I know guys like that had the hard fat. Like I feel like you kind of got the hard fat a little bit, so there's no, so to speak.
That's cool, yeah.
And that shit can look like this is what it is. I came here to eat, drink, and fuck people up. What's up? You know, I got that lazy ass fat where it's like, I gotta tell people I work for a living, like you know what I mean. my belly looks like the fucking cat mouth at the.
Oh god! Sad but true.
I hate that shit. But I'm like I would say that I'm most self-conscious about it because like I don't eat crazy. Mm-hmm. Like I actually my metabolism must be trash, but I don't eat crazy. I fucking exercise every fucking day. You know, but it's just that's my vibe, you know? So, but I don't think that men talk about their insecurities enough because it is a sign.
It's a stereotype not to.
It is a stereotype, but the stereotype is one of those things, right? Where it comes from a real place because it's weakness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. And you never want to show your hand because you don't know who could take advantage of that shit. So my other one that I brought is interesting that you brought up the math thing is like intelligence because I'm not an idiot. But I'm not smart either. Like I know I'm good at social shit and I'm good at I'm good at common sense stuff, like figuring out why people would do things, like people shit that relates to people, why people do things, like relating to people, watching people, being able to size up a person. Like I'm fantastic
like
at
social emotional intelligence.
Yeah, it's like a sixth sense. Like I can spot a fucking bozo and a murderer instantly. You know.
Yep.
But I'm not like super educated, but I do know stuff like just from like watching documentaries and stuff. Like I can chime in every now and then and usually hold a conversation. But like I was just talking to Laura about it today because I was on the Zoom call, Patreon Zoom call today. Don't big fucking deal. But like on there's some smart people. I could tell they're smart just from the way they talk, you know. And I'm like, man, like I'm not smart like that. And it's funny because in my head, the moment I say it out loud, like I'm not smart like that, my head says, but tell them you can fight. Let them know you can fight.
That's exactly what I do. I always say, like, dude, look, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I'm the quickest to swing.
That's true.
Ain't nobody gonna
That is
stop
true,
it.
and I've been there many times. One thing I can say about Dante is he usually will give you a warning, but people don't. A lot of times people don't take it seriously.
Or
I'm trying to be
they can't
polite because
read
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's weird. I've seen it happen twice with the warning, but he'll be like, hey, if you do that again, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
Yeah. So that's how you got to do it.
You know, and then people will be like, oh yeah,
That's what happened. Yeah. That's good moves right there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen it twice in my life. Trees and style, both of them. Anyway, so with that out of the way, that was a nice little opening conversation. Let's get into some nerd weeks. We got nothing but guests, so we'll just move around the same. Actually, we did introductions this way. We'll work. Oh no, you're eating. We'll go the same way. Dante,
Which smells real good, by the way. Sorry.
it does.
Sorry, I told you I was going to bring it up. I told you I was going to bring it up.
Overweight, and now
Yes.
you're eating.
I know.
Lucky I ate before I walked in.
It's all vegan.
I'm down 5. I'm down 5 pounds this month. So,
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Man.
but then to celebrate today, I went all in.
Yeah.
I hit McDonald's. It was like, give me all of it.
Fuck that cheat day. Let's go. Up top.
sometimes I think you need not necessarily a cheat day, but you need a day to eat shitty because it helps clean you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
Your
a
body doesn't want
balance.
that in there.
Yeah.
There's a balance to it all because I'm not eating fully clean, but I'm also, I'm fucking around, but I'm eating what I need to eat.
You're not in the alleys.
Yeah. But I feel good about that. So, you know what, Charlie? Your food smells good. Real good. But I got discipline over here.
Yeah, I got discipline too, and knowing that it's vegetarian is helping a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
If that was like
That's
the
a
lamb
fact.
shit, I'd be like, wow. It's
Yeah, I just want to take the flour tortilla off and then brush the rest of the shit off and eat just the flour.
Of course you do.
What's I been up to? Watching movies.
All right,
Podcasting.
Yeah, podcasting. You got 3 podcasts. What are they? Wait, let me see if I can do it because it's getting challenging at this point. You have BJJ Wiki, the Wiki one, the BJJ one,
off the mats. Shit, I have to
off the
think for a
mats,
minute.
off the mats. So you like horror?
Yep.
And Compton Social Club.
Yeah, but he wanted to change the beer club because
Beer club?
Yeah, right.
I liked Compton.
Compton sounds like it sounded.
I made him
more
keep
legit.
Compton.
Oh, okay,
He wanted
Compton
just-
Beer Club.
He
Okay.
He
How'd
wanted
that
to go
work?
just straight to beer club. I was like, no, we got to keep Compton because you got to have a brand.
Yeah.
You can't just be like beer club.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
who the
too
fuck-
generic.
Yeah, it's like, oh, beer club. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to beer club.
Yeah.
But you say Compton, that shit sound weird as shit.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
see
yeah.
what are these weirdos talking about. And the fucked up thing is, we don't even really talk about beer. We drink beer and review it, and we only review it like, oh, I could taste the hops here. No, it's like, what's alcohol content on that? 8%? Shit. That's a 7 out of 10 for me. Like, oh, that's a 4%er, but it is delicious. It's tasty. I can crush these. Let's give it a 6. Shit like that. But watching just trying to keep up on the horror movies right now because Sarah and I, we're about to talk about Final Destination. So I'm trying to catch back up on that and just, like, I know them pretty well. I've watched them all a billion times.
That was during that Scream era.
Yeah.
How many Final Destinations they made?
That was a whole different wave.
I want to say there was 5.
Okay, I only saw the first 2.
The first one was great. The second one was fucking horrible.
Which is why I never saw it anymore.
The third one was not as bad as the second one.
Okay.
The fourth one was silly in what it was because it was like they're at a NASCAR event.
Okay,
and-
I remember the trailers. Yeah.
But the fifth one was really good
Huh. Okay.
because the ending was kind of a twist and it all connects. It all interconnects everything.
Strong finish.
So, but now they're rebooting it or some shit.
shit,
So
of
that's
course,
when I'm
of
like,
course.
okay, great.
and Laura and I are still up for one. We got
So yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Because I've been thinking about that all week, trying to figure out. I was like, whatever it's going to be, it's going to whenever we record, it's going to go out probably October or November, one of those 2 months. So I try to get everything.
Jana
done.
might be in too, to be honest, because she's has a horror, like she's like curious
starting to watch
about
that
horror.
I mean, bring the family. Let's get
The little ones can't fuck with it.
Well, Sophie's about to start with the the Universal Classic Monsters.
Yeah.
This October we're gonna do.
that's good. Yeah.
Frankenstein. Let her get into
The
that.
old black and white one.
Damn,
Nice,
man, good.
nice.
That's
cool.
Yeah,
That's
that's cool.
classic.
That's cool.
It was because I go back and watch like House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts, like the originals, and they're not scary,
Hell no.
but you can understand why they were scary then.
Right. They're like, how do they get that bat to fly? And it's like,
Yeah,
it's clearly
like-
a string
like
with a
there's
fucking little rubbery wings and shit.
Was it like House on Haunted Hill? There's just like this one scene where there's just a guy standing there. Like, it's not scary at all.
Nah.
But it's like, okay, I get it for the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
they were like, pictures are moving.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like you'll see the head
Y'all
turn.
talking about old school scary. The one that fucked my head up. Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, that's still good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, when it was a
The original
scene.
black
No,
and white one,
not. I don't think it was black and white. I think it was colored, but it was back in the day, kind of.
So, yeah,
the
they
remake in the
remastered.
90s?
Yeah, so the thing that fucked my head up in that joint that scared me, and it scares me to today because this is real life. You know when the emergency broadcast thing come on TV?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I used to
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like you wake up, TV still be on,
Yeah, yeah,
and you hear that. I'm like, oh shit! You know what I'm saying?
Zombies
so
are
when I saw that on the movie, I was like, I ain't watching this no more. Man. I ain't watching this no more.
So I go to bed with horror movies on. And
Dude,
I
how?
Dude, you are wild.
Bruh, they're right,
You
bruh.
gotta
Nah.
put on
I
a
didn't have
comedy or
good
something.
parenting as a kid. I didn't know any better. But now I have to because Sophie comes into the room first thing in the morning and the TV stays on.
Yeah.
So now I have to like
Sure,
put on
sure.
like WWE or something. So in the morning when she comes in, it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, the attitude there. Suck it. And it's like, fuck, I should just fucking kept the horror movies on. But yeah, we're gonna this October kind of start venturing into like the old classics for her.
Wow, man. That's cool.
Like and she's been asking. It's like, okay, like there's something she asked about.
All right, classic. Ooh. Classic. What you calls? Monsters.
Monsters.
Who's on the Mount Rushmore?
Oh, for that one, Frankenstein's monster.
So no, but in order.
Oh,
Okay.
In order.
Dracula.
That's
number
100% is number one.
Number one. Frankenstein's
Frankenstein's
monster.
number two.
Now the next one gets a little slippery. I'm gonna go with Wolfman.
Wolfman is number three.
What about-
I think this one is the slippery one.
So yeah, it's like it could be Mummy.
It
'Cause
could be.
It
Or-
could be Mummy.
So Mummy
But-
is my choice.
Yeah.
But the creature from the Black
But
Lagoon.
the creature from the Black Lagoon is the
Yeah.
other
honorable
option.
mention.
Yeah, see, yeah.
And you can't see, and
true.
it gets weird because with the Invisible Man, it's like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really
Really
that.
that-
It's not. It's not monstrous
Yeah,
enough.
right, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
scary in a different way, in a rapey
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like
pervert
okay.
way he's in the corner. Translucent. I saw. Guess what I just saw this week? I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I love to hear it.
But yeah, that's been kind of the big thing around the house is trying to catch up on some horror movies. Phil and I were talking the other night through Messenger. I watched X.
Okay. What'd you think?
So I watched it last week.
That's with Vin Diesel.
No. Back in the day, that's Triple X. It's trash, but
So I watched it last week, and I was like, it's enjoyable. I watched it last night with Sarah. Just like, all right, let's go ahead and like, because she hadn't seen it
what'd
yet.
she think?
She was fine with it,
Okay.
but she was watching it the way that I watched it the first time, just watching it as a movie. Now, my second time watching it, I'm watching it for like critique.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the second, I was like, God, this fucking movie
Yeah.
sucks.
See, yeah.
But it's one of those things where I could put it on for
It's
like
called X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about? Give me a premise, like a
So
sentence.
it's basically a group of adult filmmakers. They're going.
It's a period piece.
They're
set in the
looking
70s.
to in the 70s to make an adult film.
The trailer's better.
Oh, okay.
So, I was like, oh, okay.
You have my
Well,
attention.
it has a good premise, but
Yeah. So the thing that I didn't like about, because I watched Black Phone, and that's set in 1978. And when you watch that movie, it feels like you're watching something from 1978. It just feels gritty. It feels right. I'm watching X, which takes place in 79. It's too clean. It's too bright. Like it looks like a bunch of kids from 2021 cosplaying 1979.
That is true because the 70s is the 80s before they found cocaine.
Yeah, there's a lot of cocaine being done.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because like the the You Talking to Me, that guy, the Taxi Driver, the Kubrick shit. Like it's all the same dark, gritty, fucking life sucks, you suck, don't trust anybody, fuck it, fuck the government, fuck the, it's all that shit. But the 80s is the same way, except it has cocaine on it.
It's like
The 80s was way more polished.
Then you get Wall Street, you get fucking
way more polished in the 80s. A lot more
funny,
bright,
right?
A lot more bright lights.
Yeah.
But between
So did you like Black Phone?
I really like Black Phone because of the feel that it gives you. Because when you're watching it, these movies are all predictable. You know what's coming. But what I watch them for is like the feeling. Like when I go back and watch like when I go back and watch like an old horror movie from the 70s or even the 60s or 50s, I'm putting myself in a position of what was it like watching this movie for the first time back then versus being someone in 2022 watching it now. So watching Black Phone, this is that era of kidnappings, 78. And that's the big theme of the movie. So, and they sold that very well.
How do you feel about Biggie's line about Seat Gutter? Have we ever really addressed it?
Wait, what?
My guy Seat Gutter fucking kidnapped kids.
Oh,
and then he has another line after that.
I mean,
we just kind of, the line? You probably don't know the line.
Don't know the line.
Didn't really give it too much thought. But now that you put it there, thanks.
Biggie would be canceled today, I feel like.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, hell yeah, he would.
I'm going to pause it real quick. All right, we'll pick back up now. I just had to get the line off my chest. I don't even want to say that shit on the internet.
That's a rough one.
But yeah, so comparing the two movies because they're supposed to be set basically the same period of time. I mean, a lot of those movies, that try to do that, that's exactly what, how X was done. It's just whatever the technology is today, it looks super crisp and pretty, and it just doesn't feel like when they redid Texas Chainsaw Massacre back in 2003. It had a little bit of that feel too, where it was like, okay, this is grimy, it's dirty. When Rob Zombie does a movie, as much as people may dislike the dude, he has a way of making the fucking movie feel like
gritty.
These people are gross. I don't want to be around these people.
Has that Boulevard stink on him.
I'm betting Black Phone probably had a bigger budget though too, because it's Ethan Hawke.
The funny thing, that's probably where all the budget went though,
because
that's true. I mean, when you look at the movie,
there's no one else famous in there really besides him, right?
No.
Okay.
No. But I mean, the movie you look at it, it's like, that's where the budget went. It went to Ethan Hawke because I mean, they didn't really do anything that necessarily needed in like no special effects or anything. Yeah. It was just a very straightforward, basic ass movie. X, I don't know what their budget was, but A24, so I don't imagine it was the highest of budgets.
No, it's gonna be like.
But I mean, it still looked pretty. Like, it was like
there are a lot of beautiful people in it because they're shooting porn.
I mean, but
a lot of feathered hair, I hope.
Oh yeah, but that's what I mean. It just looked like they're cosplaying.
Yeah.
Like whereas in Black Phone, these motherfuckers look like they were from 1970s.
Right.
Like everything, like the house, the background, the clothes, the cereal they're eating, the TV, what they're watching on the TV. It just all felt like that. Like
it's funny you saying all this. I'm thinking to myself, like the 70s was an interesting era, man.
Yeah,
like coming off the hippie shit, coming off Vietnam, coming off Watergate, like. There was a lot of innocence lost, I feel like, in the 70s. The kind of, it's innocent. I mean, it's interesting.
I mean, that was like the decade of all, like, again, kidnappings and serial killers. There was a lot of wild shit going on in the 70s.
Seat Gutter was born in the 70s.
Just ain't gonna let that go. But yeah, we watch those. I'm trying to think, did we watch anything else? We always watch a bunch of shit, but I never can prep when I'm coming to Nerd Rage. It's like, oh my God, I watched a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But I can never think of it.
It's not that professional.
Oh no, trust me. But none of my shows are either.
You've been here before.
But yeah, that's the big thing, is just trying to get it prepped for these horror podcasts. Off the Mats, it runs by itself now. It does its own thing, I think.
When's the next So You Like Horror?
Sarah and I are going to probably record. Well, shit, we got to record this weekend.
Oh, because you and Sarah had a pretty, you had a big turnout show, right? You had a show that performed well.
For when she and I did the zombie one.
Oh, so now you're gonna bring her on again, huh?
Man, you gotta bring it back for a sequel.
So the way that's actually set up,
analytics will fuck you up. Wait till I see the numbers on this to see if I can hit you guys back up. Like,
No, the way that's set up is that, like, basically I rotate the original 4 guests. So it's Phil.
no, I'm just fucking with you.
Sarah. Yeah, actually, yeah. It's just like you and Joe, Sarah, Teresa. I thought there was a 4th.
You got your buddy Jen on there at one point?
Well,
right?
no, she's not part of it.
okay.
She's
And
just there.
special guest. I'm sure like JR, if you hit him up, I'm sure you
yeah,
get
and
people.
then like the second episode of each month is like just a different guest each go around. So I think in September, my friend Jen and her friend, they're going up to Salem and some shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool. They can talk about it? When they get
Yeah,
back?
I'm gonna let her.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
good.
let them
That's
and
good.
Sarah
Damn.
just do an episode. I'm just gonna sit there and talk
A
shit.
mutual friend of ours,
Really?
Matt J. It doesn't matter, but he hit me up like last year and was like, I know the guy that currently owns the she's a great big fat person that,
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill. That owns the Buffalo Bill house from Silence of the Lambs.
Really?
And
Is that local to Maryland?
it's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So there's
It said-
a contest
and-
going on to go up there.
And he said he could get us up there to do a Nerd Rage show inside
Oh, really? Inside the basement? Or
inside the house.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Yeah.
Wherever there's electricity, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Well,
I want to be there.
Yeah.
That would
So
be
like,
cool.
but
Wow.
I'm still waiting to hear back about that. But yeah, I keep forgetting. He said that he reached out to me.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it'd be fucking cool.
Yeah,
it was like
very cool.
you know, like Trent Reznor and did Downward Spiral in the Manson home or something, or you know, one of, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
this is energy, dude. You know what I mean? Like, how about I get on that shit? I start breaking my crystals out. You know what I mean? I'm sure Laura's got some salts and some oils up there and
Sarah's
shit.
got some weird
You
shit
know what I mean?
going on.
Fucking start lighting some incense. You know what I mean? Tap into the universe is what the fuck I'm talking about. Phil, how was your nerd week?
Well, I saw Thor: Love and Thunder, and I heard from last week's episode you guys did too.
We did indeed.
The kids liked it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
And what did you, Laura, think?
I think so. I honestly think that it's bad, but I don't think it's all that much worse than your average Marvel movie.
Okay.
You know, like I think it has good fun and good yucks, yuck,
yeah.
and there's some action sequences, and there's some loud music, Phil. There's all the things that I think make up your average Marvel situation. My general thoughts on this are phase 1 through 3, and I know I'm beating a very common drum for me anyway, but phase 1 through 3.
So where does
The majority of Marvel movies, in my opinion, are average, but there are very few poor ones. In fact, phase 1 through 3, the only poor one to me is Iron Man 3.
Okay, yeah.
So then there's some that I think are less than average, and then there are some that I think are above average, and then there are a few that I think
That you think are good.
are
really
good,
Yeah.
and then there are even a more select few that I think are great.
Yeah.
But because the majority of the shit is up here in relation to the average sits here. Whereas in phase 4, I think everything's the same, except there's no greatness anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a couple poor ones and a bunch of average. So now that average line sits here, and it gives people a different view of Marvel. But in all actuality, I don't think it's all that much different than their average. You're just missing the great. And I got news for you, fans. So am I.
So what I couldn't remember is where's the phase 3, phase 4 cutoff?
So
the second Spider-Man?
Spider-Man is the first movie of Spider-Man with Mysterio is the last movie of phase 3.
Okay. Because I think that was the last good one.
So to me, that's an average Marvel movie.
Okay.
Like we could go through, and it could be an interesting discussion, but we have a lot of things to get through tonight. But
exactly.
we could go through and place them. Joe reached out to me recently about some app that we can utilize, and it like ranks things, which I think could be good fun.
Okay.
But for this, I just think that so I can tell you exactly what came out in phase 4, and I'm just gonna fly through. and I'm going to give you just what I think about them. Okay, because it's more significant than you might think.
Yeah, because you include the shows too, right?
Namely, due to the shows.
Yes.
Okay, so let me see here. I'm just trying to find it in this little chat that I had. Because I asked a lot of groups of people. I asked the dummies. I asked Nerd Rage, Joe and Chris.
Yeah, it was interesting having the dummies on last week.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm trying to make it, So Black Widow, to me, average. Average Marvel movie, I should say. Shang-Chi, average Marvel movie. Eternals, lower than average Marvel movie.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3, to me, average Marvel movie. Doctor Strange 2, bad Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Thor 4 and 7 years ago, bad Marvel movie.
Yeah.
WandaVision, average Marvel. Loki, average Marvel. What If, average Marvel. Falcon and Winter Soldier, slightly above average Marvel. Hawkeye, average Marvel. Moon Knight, average Marvel. Miss Marvel, couldn't even make my way through it.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to watch it.
So not one, for me, not one piece of greatness.
Yeah.
One thing that was above average, well, maybe two. The Falcon and Winter Soldier above average.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Moon Knight.
For me.
Yeah, okay.
Was the only thing above average. So while the majority of it remains the same, average, it lacks the peaks for me.
Yeah, to offset the poor ones. Yeah.
And it's that
so
simple.
It's unbalanced now.
It's that simple.
Okay. Yeah, because Thor 4 feels like a spoof film.
7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like a spoof film. Like it.
It feels like but so does most of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, that's what Thor has become.
That's Waititi's
agreed.
Waititi's style.
Joke.
Yeah.
It's
There's
definitely
serious stuff they could do in both those movies, and there's
why bother?
little tidbits in there because of Cate Blanchett and because of Christian Bale in the new one, and that's it.
All of those movies, like I saw, and like the Bring Me Thanos.
Yeah.
That Thor is long gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not
ridiculous.
like a good trajectory of the character.
No.
It's just like I get the whole depressed fat Thor, comeback Thor. Cool. That has stability.
Yes, but even then he was goofy and wacky.
Right.
They can't help themselves but rinse and repeat this cycle.
Yeah.
What's going on with Thor now, in my opinion, is no different than what's been going on with Thor the whole time, and it's all been mismanaged. Now, somebody did bring up a good point on the Zoom today where Thor 4 and 7 years ago was supposed to come out after Guardians 3,
Yes,
but because of the
originally.
James Gunn shit, everything had to kind of get rearranged.
Yeah.
So, maybe that would have helped put him back in a goofy place that would have made somewhat sense.
Yeah, coming off of Guardians.
Yeah, but the James Gunn shit, which is stupid as shit, it was Shoki's reviews that made the point, because fucking James Gunn went over to DC and made Suicide Squad, which was great, and then made fucking Peacemaker, which was great.
I still gotta watch that.
So like, had they had that level of caliber over at Marvel instead of this gentleman, maybe things would have gone differently.
Yeah.
But because of politics and bullshit, which is exactly what it was, they lost it. And I just think that the only movie, and people kill me for it, but it's okay. One day, I am going to give them money so that they can go out and buy a wooden cross to give to me so that I can climb up to the top of it and nail myself to it for all of my sacrifices that go unappreciated, Chucky O. But the thing about it is, now I lost my fucking point trying to make the fucking joke.
Amen.
Is that the only movie that actually put him in universe and made the events of his previous situations in universe have effect, as well as the events within the story have an effect, was Dark World.
Exactly. And that's the one people hate.
It's the one people hate, and it's the
bizarre.
best Thor movie, in my opinion.
And ironically, that's pretty much straight out of the books.
Dude,
like,
it's
the Dark Elves, that's all from the books.
The raid of Asgard, and then when he comes back to try to get, like, it's, and then with Loki trying to, like, fake keep his life together, where he's using his whole projections to make the room look
when
straight,
mom
and then when he finally lets down his guard and he's completely fucking broken.
Yeah, because mom's dead.
That's
it was crazy.
The real heart and soul of Marvel shit when they get it right, and people fucking hate it for him. And you want to know why, Phil? Because Marvel fans are fucking dumb.
Oh.
Damn, dude, I feel shots fired at
They
me.
don't want it. They don't want it.
I want it.
Yeah, you want it because you're of the elite crust of Marvel fans.
Wait, are you saying?
Thank you.
Are you saying Marvel? Are you thinking Marvel fans as a whole or MCU fans?
Generalized
Not comic fans.
Generalized MCU fans.
Yeah, okay.
Generalized MCU.
Yeah,
Because
I
that
think
goes
it's a
back
different-
because
that's a different subset.
that statement that you made
Because
is what I want to talk about. What I told you about earlier.
Yeah, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
But all they want are the laughs, the good times, and some action sequences.
Yeah,
That's all they want.
sad.
Thor 4 and 7 years ago is going to hit the bullseye for a number of Marvel Cinematic Universe moviegoers.
Yeah, all
one-
the kids seem to like it, and the adults are kind of
The adults that came to comic book stuff late in life, they're like, "Oh, this is cool now." I think that's what they've definitely changed
but the people who
their market.
who grew up with it like me is like, oh man, I think Kirby would be rolling over in his grave if he saw this.
Dude, the fucking shit, like, when they raid Asgard and storm the mother's room, and she says that line, I can never remember it, but as soon as she makes out, she's like, what are you doing here, creature? She says to that fucking dark elf, and it just says something. It's these little beats that I zero in on, where it's like, this woman is of this world. She knows what this fucking thing is, this dark elf, which should, by all understanding of sentient life, should be considered an individual, right? Like, if you're an Asgardian, there's rock people, there's all these different types but she thinks of this species as a lower than life form, and she addresses it accordingly. She doesn't even give it the credit of being a thing. It's a creature. But it's those little things that just show you so much about how the culture is viewed as a whole. Yeah. But like in this one, they would just be like, "Hey, you know any good AC/DC?" And they just both start playing air guitar to Back in Black.
Dude, that's the scene with all the gods is bad. That's got to be Russell Crowe's worst performance in his entire career.
Yeah,
it's horrible. And then waiting to the very end to show Hercules, I was like, what the fuck? That character could have saved that scene.
I think that scene with Hercules is that's Marvel Studios. That's got nothing to do with Waititi.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
entirely Marvel Studios.
Hercules should have been in there much earlier.
Yeah, but
because he and Thor have had a classic feud since the '60s in the books. So
continue.
Anyway, I saw Nope. I just saw that the new what's it called?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
I was going to guess Jordan Peele based off the title.
Yeah, so it's okay. It's definitely the weakest of his three main films that he's done.
It seems like
it's created a creative idea.
There's a downward trend of Jordan Peele's material.
So Get Out is still my favorite, and then Us was decent. Could have stood some more exposition for story.
Do you think if he actually could sit next to Dave Chappelle that he would be more talented? Sorry.
I don't know. Do they have a huge feud between the two of them or what?
That dude's a fucking hack, man. That's how I feel.
Oh, Jordan Peele?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I saw it as well.
Dude,
okay.
I protect Dave Chappelle at all costs. And anybody that tries to rob from that dude, I'm out for fucking blood.
Did you see Oh, you don't have Netflix anymore.
No. Dude, let me tell you something.
Nice.
So people that are so quick to let you know that they don't have a Facebook?
Yes.
And they have to put a little smug.
Bobby's so quick to let you know.
They put a little smug smile on
Facebook.
I used to judge them. I no longer do.
Now
Because I know how it feels to say,
I don't
have Netflix.
Bobby's too good for Netflix now.
Actually, it feels even better to say, I canceled Netflix.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked is because they did the new thing where he accepts the Mark Twain Award from his old comedy school in D.C., which is an interesting speech.
Is that the school that didn't, because that was his high school in Montgomery County that refused to name it after him, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the,
See,
it's the comedy school that he
grew up in Montgomery County.
Yeah, but after he left Montgomery in D.C., it's the school that accepted him.
Okay, because there was a school in Montgomery County that wanted to name their theater after him.
Yeah,
and the student body banded together and said, "Not in this house." And he said, "Don't name it after me. Name it after comedy, or name it after something else that was like bigger than Chappelle in typical fucking gentlemanly Chappelle fashion." And I don't think they were happy with that either. But then he went on to discuss later.
So Nope was an interesting idea. I don't think it was executed that well.
Right.
I don't know.
Always drives me crazy when like someone who makes movies thinks that we care about the movie making process in a movie. Like he just put too much of that in the movie that it kind of soured it for. I was like, what?
You watched it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the one thing I did like is the guy who's the filmmaker inside, the guy they get Wick.
Sure.
The actor.
He's great. He's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
All the actors did a great job. I have no criticism.
Except for David Keith, because they didn't use him enough at the very beginning.
Sure.
They wasted his character. I was like, why was he even in here?
There was just a couple of things that were, there was this monkey show, like literally
Dude,
chimpanzee.
That was the best part.
So I'm interested.
The monkey show that they start with, that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's a side story that has nothing to do except for the predator-prey angle.
So, and this is one of the things that I thought about. Like, you could have taken away the whole horse, farm, and just made it about David or Stephen Yeun's character, and
had him growing up with the knowledge of what happened to him as a kid, and
it brings it's a full character arc where this kid witnesses a spectacle, because that's the one thing that Jordan Peele really wanted to make this movie about, was spectacle. And he witnessed a spectacle when he was a young boy, and he grows up to
be kind of a carnival
showman about, and then really capitalizing on spectacle, and that you could have had a whole story, but instead you layered in again. You could have taken Stephen Yeun's story out and just had the family and their dynamic, and properly explored like the social or family issues, like
of growing up as the first horse trainer in Hollywood.
They just lost their father. There was no family dynamic or conflict. Listen, I've lost parents, and I know in 6 months you're not like getting along with
your own siblings.
There's things to be had, or you're selling the ranch. There's kids fighting over money. Like they could have had the movie purely about that, but he muddied essentially like two stories together that sort of tried to overlap, but it wasn't executed really well at all. No.
So,
all right.
I'll go to the $5 for that.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the horror concept? Because I thought it was a little cheesy.
Boy, I mean, there's a twist in there that I don't want to give away.
Yeah, same here. But
and I won't say it was like refreshing. It wasn't like a complete there's a twist. Okay.
No, I thought it was a refreshing take on the concept, but I don't think it was visually shown very well.
Yeah, and I just
this needed more work.
I feel, and I'm not the horror expert by any means here, but I just. If this is the way like new horror is going to be, boy, it is soft.
Yeah, it's pretty soft.
Yeah,
because they didn't show as much freaky stuff as I thought. You don't have to.
You don't have just like Alien. Yeah, you don't have to show the creature. They did really early on, and there's still that twist that you're like, oh, I kind of saw this coming.
Creature design in general is something that's been lacking recently, though, in modern entertainment. Like I often quote or use as an example the creatures from Stranger Things, like in the Dark Realm or whatever. It's just like this nondescript thing with legs and teeth, and I feel like that's what they all end up becoming, is sort of this. They lack an iconic nature. And I see it more and more. It's the real pandemic, if you ask me, Dante.
That's been an
unprecedented
issue for a very long time with horror and creatures, period. You don't really get anything that's groundbreaking. You're just getting more rewash of something before it, and it's just you tweak something from before.
And it's messy.
Yeah.
It's like you can't lock it down. And like, I don't know, iconic characters are just you like or monsters or beasts or whatever. Like they have to have like there's like just things that have to work. Like the alien because we're in the realm. Like they're jet black, right? And they're kind of constantly wet and like all this stuff. And and they have moving tails that thrash about and kind of arms and they're spindly.
Kind of a biomechanical appearance.
But there's something about the silhouette of one where it's fucking instantly recognizable.
Yep.
It's fucking instantly recognizable. And that element of an iconic character design is, I feel like, what's often lost today. Like, and I another, like, I always use this one. I don't want to feel like a broken record, but like Darth Maul, like love the prequels, hate the prequels, doesn't matter. The moment you see that face, the moment you see a portion of the tattoos of that face, it's so distinct and easily recognizable that it instantly tells you exactly what the fuck it is.
Oh yeah.
And from like, but that's the thing is like being able, Vader, Joker, like it's just these villains and these creatures, you know, that have that just the moment that you see them, there's not a doubt in your mind of who they are and that their intentions are negative.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Anyway, continue. What's next?
Finish season 3 of The Boys. I think you want to talk about
Fantastic.
that anyway. So I love it. But still,
It's fantastic.
it's great.
It's the best show on television.
Yeah.
Definitely. Kids in the Hall on Amazon. If you remember the old show, it's worth a watch. I've continued watching that. There's a skit that focuses on.
Hey, the state, were they a branch off of Kids in the Hall? They were an MTV sketch comedy show.
Yeah,
I
Do you remember
think
them?
so.
Oh yeah.
The enormous
I think
penis.
so,
Do you remember that
I can't
one?
remember. So because it's on Amazon, the new version,
There's this kid with this huge ass dick, and like, but like it was like a health problem. Like it was so big, it was a health problem. So like all like the stars and celebrities and like pop artists like banded together to do like a Voices That Care or a We Are the World song. The enormous penis.
So
trying to like raise money and awareness for this kid.
So you remember, because it happened in real life in the news with the guy who was masturbating during a Zoom call during the.
Oh yeah, it was
So
like a politician or something, right?
They did a skit based on that, and it's everybody ends up masturbating in the Zoom call. It was hilarious. It was great. And this is some guys, some girls, all different ages. It's great.
I will say there's an episode of Shattercast Uncut. I can't tell you which one it is, but I'm having full-blown sex on that episode. I can't tell you which one it is, but I'm having full-blown sex throughout that episode.
Wow, what a way to get everyone to re-listen.
But and I get no pub off that shit.
I've been watching Midnight Mass on Netflix. I heard. I think you and Sarah talked about it. You guys kind of gave it a mixed review. So
She really likes it.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
And
I kind of put it in my queue and didn't think about it till the guys at work. I have some guys at my new job who are real big horror fans. They're one of them is Halloween's his favorite franchise, and he has a whole bunch of masks and stuff. But anyway, they were talking it up, and they said you need to watch this. I said, all right, I'll finally. So I've been watching it. It is good.
Okay.
It's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me necessarily.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through, and it's good. It's like got a good amount of unpredictability to it, so that's cool. It's refreshing.
Good.
And I think the actors are pretty good. And as of last night, I watched the first 2 episodes of the new season 2 of Primal on HBO, which is the animated show that Chris and I like, where it's the caveman with the dinosaur.
Oh yes,
it's kind of based on like Frazetta drawings and stuff. But
Okay.
Gennady Tartakovsky, he's the guy who did Venture Brothers.
Did you like Primal Rage though? That's more important to me.
I never got to play it in the arcade as a kid.
What?
Yeah, I've played it in the arcade a couple times as an adult once in a while. Yeah. It's fun, but the controls are like super hard now. Like I couldn't get any of the shit to work.
You could like eat the humans to get you more health.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I also remember the one where it was the side scroller where you could be the ape or the werewolf or the reptile guy. It's what is that?
Rampage.
Yeah.
Rampage,
Oh,
yeah.
The Rock's movie based on.
Probably
Yeah.
a horrible movie.
So that was I remember picking up. Yeah, the movie is horrible, but it didn't take itself seriously at all.
Okay.
It was intentionally bad.
because The Rock was in it.
I love the game.
Thank you.
and it's still some shit.
When the as bad rock movies go, it's probably one of the better bad rock movies because he and the ape are like flipping each other off and doing all kinds of obscene jokes that are like, is this for kids or not? I don't know.
That's a good rock movie.
But yeah. So I lost what I was going to say.
Yeah, I got that.
But so Primal's really good.
Okay.
If you like animation, you like pretty much hardcore stuff.
About Primal Fear, you ever seen that?
I have.
That was great.
Yeah, that is good.
That was great. So they don't make movies like that anymore. Primal Fear, Seven, Usual Suspects. Like,
You know what's great about those movies too? The trailer. You watch those trailers, and it pulls you in, and it gives you nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you anything.
Those
about the
three
movie.
movies specifically too.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude.
It's true.
Talk to me.
The first two new tracks of Megadeth have been released in the past week or the past month, and they're really good.
Okay.
The upcoming album. And
I heard the album is called, I don't know if this is true or not, Keeping Solid Foods Down.
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be a concept album because the music videos kind of go part 1, part 2.
Concept album about retirement homes.
Dude, he can still play a lot.
Good. No, I mean, good for them. That's the thing. I wish them the best. You know what that is? Honestly, that's my rap brain.
Yeah.
Because my rap brain doesn't allow artists to grow old with grace. My rap brain says you reach a certain point and you're washed. Doesn't matter how fucking good you are anymore. Nobody wants to hear from you anymore. You're fucking washed.
It wouldn't be the same. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Dave Mustang's purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Proud of him.
Yeah. I heard he was doing jiu-jitsu as well. It's like to keep himself in shape and stuff for being on the road. He did pretty well, huh?
Beats heroin, right?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
no.
well, the fact that he's still alive is pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's had a rough go
He should have been dead.
I'll tell you this about Megadeth. I wish I liked more of their music. Because of the music that I do like of theirs, I love.
Yeah.
But my problem with Megadeth is they don't find the melodic pockets
that Metallica did.
that Metallica did.
So the thing about Megadeth is Metallica, they're all four really good players. For me in Megadeth, I think Mustaine is probably a better guitarist than Hammett. But the rest of his band that he gets in there doesn't necessarily match
I don't
him.
even mean musically. Musically, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It's the melodic pockets and of vocals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And James is definitely a better singer. Mustaine's more of a shouter and talker.
And it doesn't but it doesn't not even like vocal quality. Just the pocket. You know what I mean? Because you can be a trash singer, but have that pocket. And it's so perfect for the record that it doesn't matter. It's just like you found I get into this argument with Laura all the time, but like Prince, greater artist than Michael. Nobody questions that, right? Greater musician. Nobody questions that, right? Michael's a better singer than Prince.
Yeah.
Michael's more soulful a singer than Prince. And Michael's pockets are better than Prince. But Prince, even for his singing weaknesses, had great pockets too. But he relied on the pocket to get the record across. So like it's like the scheme, right? It's like but it doesn't matter that he can't sing great. That melody works so perfectly for Little Red Corvette that it ends up landing regardless of his vocal talent.
Okay.
That's what I mean by that is that like Metallica has those like like even on their first couple records where it's way rougher.
When Mustaine was still
Well, yeah, that's even when he was gone though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, like if like For Whom the Bell Tolls and shit, like he's still like the melodies that he finds, even with like.
And by the second record, James really found his voice a lot more than the first one. Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, but like my favorite two, if I had my favorite two Megadeth records are big hits. They're Symphony of Destruction and Angry Again.
Yep,
those are probably my two favorite.
Those are pretty polished.
Yeah.
A lot of their other stuff sounds a little rougher.
Yeah, and doesn't have the pocket. Which is important for me.
And that's why those two were major radio hits for them.
Yeah, I mean, and huge records, soundtrack records, and fucking everything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So anyway, that's basically it for me.
Oh, great! I'm looking forward to getting into it because we're getting into.
I know you want to talk about the boys, so I didn't.
Well, I mean, the Double H, man.
Greg, in my older years, with like kind of who I am vetted in many communities, I love talking race because I don't see it in any really stereotypical way.
Right.
And so I'm anxious to get into that conversation, but I'm going to let you set the pace for your own nerd week. You get there when you want to get there.
Got you. So, all right. So this week, I went figure crazy. Like, figure crazy.
Okay.
I was pressed over that new wave from Marvel Legends.
The Thor 4 wave?
No. Hell no.
Did you have the X-Men wave?
Yeah, the X-Men, the Bone Breaker
the
one,
Bone Breaker
and the
build,
controller one. And the only one I wanted from the controller was I
Who's
wanted
in the controller one?
the U.S. Agent.
Oh, that's right. Is
Madam
that out?
Hydra, Blue Marvel. No, it's not. See,
Is that
I was
pre-order?
gonna say it's out.
I was gonna say, I've seen that shit anyway.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I was pressed, right?
Yeah.
So
Pre-order.
I had been following a couple people on the little Facebook groups.
I
know
got
what I'm saying?
Siren.
Yeah.
I did get Siren.
Yeah, Siren's showing up in
Yeah,
stores.
yeah.
Siren and
store.
Vulcan or Bone Breaker is out at Target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the people in the Marvel groups, you see the guys that's overseas, they're getting this stuff fast. So I'm like, man, how the hell you getting
Dude,
this?
on the same level when Parallax, the McFarlane was shown accidentally
Walmart,
at the
yeah.
Walmart, and it's nowhere. It's not.
Can't find it.
They said it was going to be a collector's con this week. It was not. It's not even on pre-order for Walmart yet. So however they got in the store, it's got mismanaged completely.
Yeah.
So that was a definite leak. It wasn't.
but doesn't
it wasn't
that
even.
upset you, though?
Yeah, because I'm at work in the morning, sneaking on my computer, trying to get Parallax because everybody's going to want that thing, and you can't find it anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't. It's not up for pre-order anywhere. It doesn't exist.
You got to know somebody that knows something
Yeah,
about
exactly.
it.
So whoever
Pretty
had
much,
that,
you know what I'm saying?
whoever leaked that
Like that,
picture
right?
was either a McFarlane employee or a Walmart employee. Who had it early.
So I finally got it. Like I said, what I really wanted was U.S. Agent because I'm putting together
Yeah,
my
me
West
too.
Coast.
That
you know
figure
what
looks
I'm saying?
good. Yeah,
Me too.
Right.
It's
So
real good.
that, and I needed Blue Marvel, and this will segue into what we talking about later.
Yeah.
Blue Marvel and all them, and I got them. You know what I'm saying? Got that. I got the Bone Breaker joint this week. I got Controller this week. I got both of my Transformers. I got the DS Record Alliance
The Blaster.
Yeah, and I got King Toys King Lion. So
Oh, did you?
I got all this stuff.
Okay, well.
King Lion, all right, so hold on.
How many times you cut yourself on the King Lion?
I haven't opened it yet, and I'm gonna tell you
It
why.
looks like it's made out of knife blades.
Very moment today was a good day. Okay, that's cute. It was a good
Cute,
day.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I got the record,
Off what record?
When I got the all right, Blaster,
Predator.
Predator, what?
That was that album, right? Today was a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep, it was.
Yeah, I still got it.
So-
Make some noise for me. You guys.
Oh yeah.
You know hip hop. We don't need to make noise for you.
So the company that I bought it for, from overseas, they sent me Blaster in a box, in the actual box, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, where's my King Lion? I ain't got it yet. I'm like,
shit.
we didn't put this in one big ass box to send it. So I'm on the email. Where's the second part? Because this order clearly says I paid for it. My credit card said I paid for it.
Right.
Where's my box? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? This is like a couple days ago.
And your wolf shoes. You gotta get your wolf shoes.
Yeah, exactly. I need my wolf shoes. You know what I'm saying? So look. So guess what comes in the mail today? My King Lion.
Okay.
They just
So-
shipped it separately.
Yeah, they shipped it separately. Yeah,
They give you a reason for that? That's weird.
I can't even get a reason. I couldn't get an email reply to. Oh, it could be still on the way. We sent it. I ain't even.
Oh, so
get
they
that.
didn't even reply to you?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's lame.
And now by this time, I'm big on communication. You know what I'm
talk
saying?
about it.
Yeah.
If you can't talk to me, then I feel like you're hiding something. I feel like you're doing something
Dude,
silly.
You want to get a plate? You want to get a seat? I mean, a seat.
I don't need a plate.
A seat.
You see?
A plate. A seat is like a plate with 4 legs attached.
He's trying to cover it up. Yeah, right. You said it wrong. No, you.
She's just here for more wine.
Yeah. She's. I mean, her and Tara.
I
both-
just filmed a Nerd Rage.
That is true. That is true.
Did you guys film the episode?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I was gonna say that's hilarious.
All right, films recorded.
He just likes to say
Hey.
Phil.
Hey.
That was a good episode with you with the dummies. That was a good episode with you guys. I just listened to that yesterday.
Yeah.
It's good.
Super, super nervous.
It's funny. They were all like, well, not
Why?
just, but
you guys all talk for hours and then cut
yeah,
it down
but
to
they
4
have
dummies.
this like perception of Nerd Rage being like this higher. We talked about
No.
it. Like,
oh yeah, you guys did talk about it. It's not. It's not
no, but I
what
mean, yeah,
we
but they
think we
know.
guys
But it's just like
discuss.
it is interesting because I guess it is. Like it's not as super topical, so it is a lot of more like verbal jiu-jitsu. You know, like it is a lot of.
Jiu-jitsu.
I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
Yeah. No, I'm just
It's more verbal taekwondo, to be honest, and it
Gotta get them long kicks in there.
yeah.
Wing Chun.
But it is a different game.
Finish about your I will admit, I like heard communication. I'm like, what are you talking about with communication?
No.
I'm sure he's like, Laura's a terrible communicator.
You are. It's funny because we set the stereotype inverse, whereas I am the better communicator, and Laura is the worst communicator. And like if there's an issue, like an emotional issue, Laura is the one to like button up and just move on with it, whereas I'm the one that's like, let's fucking talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's
you
fucking,
got to.
you know, like
You know. Hey, what you say, Dante? Say, I told you once. I'm about to slap shit out you. That's perfect communication that he
Yeah.
just gave you.
No, I never said
trying.
that. I never said that to her. No, I've never said that.
I'm not in that. I don't know nothing. So yeah. So like I said, I finally got him. Communication, big deal. But since it came today, I'm over it. Thank God to my wife because she was like, just chill out and wait. Okay.
She's trying to be your sensible
because
self.
I was about to go like, you know how people go on, Facebook, don't buy from this company, yada yada yada. I was about to really go ham, but I did.
You gotta give it a couple days,
chill.
and then you can go ham.
Yeah, so,
It's a better look.
exactly. So that happened. Got my figures. Oh, also got the Hawkman McFarlane from the Black Adam.
movie. How is that?
I love it
'Cause that's sold out
I
everywhere
I think it's
already.
the best figure. I'm gonna tell y'all where I got this.
Now that's interesting.
Yep, and we keep going to what we're talking about. Yep, and but the only reason why I got it, not even because of that, just because the figure of Hawkman looks good.
Yeah,
So
agreed,
that
agreed.
and the Fate from the movie.
Yeah.
I don't care about The Rock as Black Adam.
Same.
I want the other two.
I would have rather got the Justice Society movie than
Oh yeah,
the Rock
Yeah.
movie.
Dude, but we talk about the new trailer later.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
dropped today. It's good.
Really?
I think so.
You talking about the Shazam? Oh, there's another Black
Adam.
Adam or
Second
Shazam?
Black
Black
Adam
Adam.
trailer that dropped today.
The Marvel shit should be dropping while we record.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Shazam one? The new Shazam?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the notes.
Yeah.
Okay. So so that happened. I love that figure too. I actually got
Do the wings move?
Yeah, they do, but they don't.
sweet. Damn.
Not like how anybody's seen the Black McFarlane.
The Man Bat?
No, Joker. The Joker that laughs.
Yeah.
Those wings actually move better than the Hawkman one
Oh shit.
because they have like that extension in the bottom wing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Damn.
yeah, but it's still a good figure though.
Okay.
You can hold like his
I mean,
mace.
he looks
You can
great.
double hand the mace.
That's awesome.
I said that right. He can hold his mace with both hands, so it's good posing and stuff like
all right,
that.
enough.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get off this topic real quick. So the boys, yeah. I finally
now you're
caught
back
up.
on the topic.
So
You caught up through the end of season
yes,
3?
I have watched because I kept seeing. I'm a YouTube person. I don't really watch cable like that. I watch YouTube every morning, every day. You know what I'm saying? Sit Down Saturday is honestly like my Saturday morning cartoon. I'm not hyping. I'm not saying I'm on my man, but I'm just saying.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is exclusive to Nerd Rage anyway. I have a sit down Saturday on August 6th, 2 weeks out, with the designer of Vectron Labs Devastator
No shit.
that tells the whole story.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a tragic one. And I'm going to
Yeah, I bet.
continue.
But see, that makes for a perfect Saturday morning. Wake up, energy drink in my hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. Right. So, what I'm talking about? Back to the boys, right? Man.
Did you watch Diabolical as well or no?
No, I
Okay.
just like
Okay.
I did.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
just-
It's great. It's great.
Man, they are wild, man. I mean, hero
I like how the other black guy in the room just pursed his lips and went, "Yep."
I mean, hero gasm. The dude's name is Love Sausage.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's my
he's
name,
in
too.
the comic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, wow.
He was in that second season.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in the second season.
Yep. Now the joint that
Made an impact.
that pissed me off the most, because he slapped him in the face. It was like, oh my god. The joint that I hate the most about this show is why is Homelander to me? He seems like he's OP with no weaknesses.
Well, that's how people view Superman, though, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
Shit, I know I throw some green rock at him.
No,
he good.
no, you and I both know
Yeah.
that. But
But
the
the
way
general
that the
audience
general
does not
audience
perceive
I get
views
that.
Superman,
I can see that, but I'm just like,
But also, Ennis never wrote in power level descriptions for anything. His whole point of writing the book was to not worry about that. It's all about the social interaction and poking fun at the the superhero genre as a whole. So the show never took it that far. Kripke is the showrunner, doesn't care about that either, and it shows.
Okay, yeah.
So
I can
now
see that, yeah.
it's because that's one nitpick thing I have with it, where they have certain battles they've done, and then they don't necessarily make sense with ability level compared to what they do later in the episode. It doesn't matter,
But that's a Star Wars approach.
yeah.
You
It
know,
is.
like throw the science out the window and make the story fun and good to watch.
And they've done that.
Yeah.
and
You
they've
know?
done,
Yeah, they
Like,
did that. Yeah.
I make a pick about that because that's me.
yeah. Like I think
But
those two mindsets of nerddom, like make me think about not to say that you can't cross over, of course, like the Venn diagram, because I think you definitely do cross over. And so do
cross over
I.
more
But like,
so
but
more than
I think
others.
like the idea of like the nerdom being something to be like fun, enjoyable, blah blah blah, but also make you question things, think about things differently, like being a metaphor for real world things and blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus like the analytical science, what would life really be like in a realistic environment under these circumstances? You know, like the Star Treks, the Expanse, I think to some degree, like that sort of stuff. Like those are two separate like avenues of travel for our fandoms, you know. And I much prefer, like, I'll never be the one to be like, but he could melt a door before and now he can only singe a door. In my head, I'll quickly go like, the door is different, but I'll be like, but
true.
what he said is what says like he's got a mother issue. There's a mother issue here.
Yeah, he does.
You know, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's wow, just a wild show.
It's great, man.
Oh, but it was great. Yeah,
it's
don't get me
fucking
wrong.
fantastic.
So the
Like,
horror guys I know, the one guy is in contact with like some of the special effects people. So he showed me on his phone. He knew it was the guy who did the knife through Maeve's eye, and I got to see it like behind the scenes where they were doing the cast of her face. And it looked fucking amazing. It looked real. I was like, the effects on that show are amazing.
While we're on the topic of the boys, so to speak, anybody see the Mayfex reveals of SCCC?
I just saw
That's one thing I
Homelander.
missed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on one second.
Yeah.
Mayfex is hit or miss. This company,
Yes.
But that being said, they showed a Starlight.
Which version of the costume?
It looks amazing.
Okay.
They showed a prototype for the Deep,
Okay.
a prototype for A Train, and I want to say there
Love
was
sausage.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What's the love sausage?
Giant
No.
10-inch.
No,
I want to say there was one more.
No, people
Do they do butcher?
They've already done. I got them over there.
Okay.
Butcher and Homelander I have over there.
Okay.
Mayfex is killing it, like with the boys shit. Like
Is anybody else competing with them?
NECA, so NECA's got a bunch of shit too, but
Yeah.
Mayfex is killing it. They showed real quick. They showed a Poison Ivy from Hush.
Oh shit!
Great. And they
Mayfex did the Hush itself, right? And
yeah, they did.
remember you
they did
reviewed
Hush,
that.
Catwoman, Batman, and Joker,
They got Superman. Hush.
and Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
And how was the Hush?
Great. They're all great.
Okay.
They're all great. And then they did they showed, I think I gave Catwoman like figure of the year. They're like, it's perfect.
Did the Hush come with the Jason Todd switch out head?
Yes.
Okay.
And they showed they're doing a Nightfall series.
Really?
And they showed Batman and Bane, and they both look on the money.
And they didn't.
And actually, and they just have their Nightfall
that just dropped.
figure. It just dropped. Mine's in route.
Oh, the John Paul Valley with the blades and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool. All right.
Anyway, continue. The boys.
Oh, yeah, the boys is good.
Yeah. What else?
I mean, if you want to start talking about,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so
Tell the story. Set us up. We're
right,
flex your muscles. We're getting ready to get into a discussion.
I am on Google Chat with a bunch of my friends, right? And the conversation came up. Someone posted an article about Giancarlo, and it's funny because we go into the boy, coming from the boys.
Yeah, yeah.
It was an article about.
I love him in that show. He's great.
Yeah,
He's
he was
great.
good. He was good. So there was an
He's great in
article
Star
about
Wars. He's great in Breaking Bad. He's
yeah.
fucking great. Period.
Exactly. So the article was about him possibly being a Professor X in an X-Men reboot. So all my friends,
I want him to be a villain in Marvel.
I don't. But okay.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too.
Stand by.
So all
Go
my
ahead.
friends, majority of they're all black. They're all on that group chat. We're black, and so a lot of them, yeah, I can see that. That's tight. Yeah, we need that. We need that. I'm like, I feel like I don't really want to see him do that. You know what I'm saying? I said, let's just keep him a white guy. And so now all my friends, oh my God, Craig, what the
shots
fuck?
fired.
Blah.
Yeah,
And I mean, like, I'm like, what are y'all mad about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, like, my he's a good friend, my best friend. I've known him since second grade. He was like in the forefront of this. Man, we need this inclusion and da-da-da-da-da. And I said, you want this, but instead of y'all complaining about making a white character black, how about we start throwing out the characters you haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
So then I start spitting out names, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
goes back to the figure from
Blue
Controller,
Marvel.
Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
I said, have y'all heard of Blue Marvel? Who is that?
Yeah.
I
So
said,
my question for you, because I can't remember, because he came out around the same time as Sentry, right? In the books, was he like Sentry, where he was retconned all the way since the beginning of Marvel as a not spoof necessarily, but Hulk was the only one who
see-
remembered Sentry?
now you
Was
see-
Blue Marvel retconned that way,
But
or was
see,
he
you
just
got
a
me,
new
'cause
character
see-
introduced?
And see, here's the thing. I don't even have a full background on him.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I thought you might.
Phil could be intense.
Yeah, but see, that's great. No, because see, I'm always being educated. You know what I'm saying? And I love that.
Because I don't know the
You know what I'm saying?
backstory for him. He's one of the few I don't.
But I do know this from what, like I said, I watch YouTube all the time. So I go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good way to get a bunch of information quickly,
Right.
but it's not always correct.
Exactly.
It's like
true.
Wikipedia almost.
But you can't help yourself but to fall in that hole.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because it picks the next video. So I did,
So let's ask the question, because it is a tricky one, right? Because I'm with you. Like, I'd much rather see us have films that really flesh out Storm than
Dude,
films
that would
that
be cool.
make white characters black.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
me personally, I have no interest in that. Sometimes it doesn't matter, which I agree. But like, sometimes it just feels weird. The same way it would feel weird if they made Storm white. I wouldn't want that
Thank
in
you.
any way, shape, or form.
Thank
Yeah, because her heritage is what it is in the books.
But heritage
sad.
aside, if they just left that out, because if you think like Rogue or from fucking the X-Men movies is like from the South, but she has no Southern accent.
Yeah.
Like if they just throw the heritage out the window and just did whatever they wanted with Storm, Halle Berry, her heritage is thrown completely fucking out the
her
window.
accent was trash.
You know, so but still, like I just want the things to be what they are.
Exactly.
Like I'm sorry, I do, and that means that I don't want Johnny Storm to be black. I don't want Terry Fitzgerald and Spawn to be white. Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah, Spawn as a white guy doesn't make any sense.
well,
to me.
it wasn't Spawn, but it was, but
Yeah.
Terry, I didn't want him to be white. Like, it irritated me. It irritated me on a couple levels because, like, and I've gotten into this before, but like Spawn, once again, 70s, keep going back to the 70s, but Al Simmons, black guy in the 70s,
yeah.
in the military, had this special connection with this dude, with this one other guy in his military unit. To me, during that time frame, during that era, it makes more sense for that dude to be black.
Okay,
That they would have that in common as well. It just makes sense to me. But even if it didn't, I'm just used to seeing Terry a certain kind of way. And I fuck with Terry. And I want Terry to be black. The same way I want Johnny Storm to be white. And I feel like it's easy to demonize someone today for saying that. But mine at least is consistent across the board. Where I just want everybody to be what I don't want. Like, if Bishop was white, I would throw a fucking fit. Dante, tell me
No,
something.
I agree. That's always been my issue, especially with Fantastic Four when they did that with Johnny.
Yeah, when it had
And
Michael
but
B.
the
Jordan
thing that
in there.
really got to me, it wasn't even so much that, is that Sue was white.
That's so.
yeah.
Right.
So if Sue and Johnny were both black, that's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
to
I,
make them,
but I'll be
some
honest, it's not what I
stepchild or
want.
whatever,
yeah, it's
weird.
not what I want.
Yeah.
It's a little better because
Yes.
at least because of the sibling connection there.
Some continuity.
You know, it's like, oh, well, they adopted her, and I've been through this discussion a bunch, and you know, family, blood, you know, it is what it is. You got people who aren't blood that's, you know, closer than blood, but in that dynamic, in that story, the connection that Johnny and Sue have as siblings, it's
Well, the whole thing is about is about defining family,
Yeah.
right? Because the four of them are family, and yet the four of them are also family in different ways.
Yes.
There's a brother, sister. There's a husband, wife. There's best friends.
friends,
There-
yeah.
like it's the idea of this is all the dynamics of family in a family.
Yeah.
You know it, but like, here's the thing, right? Like, if you have a Batman movie, right? To me, Montoya, who's Spanish, so she probably, to be fair, she wouldn't be affected. But who is the fat dude?
Bullock.
Bullock.
Yeah.
Bullock is an important character to the cartoon and has some history, but nobody watches a Batman movie and says, not enough Bullock.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So get Bullock the fuck out of here and introduce a new black character that's a lead detective that's on, and make me care about that character, and then you can get representation and such. I just had a conversation on Zoom today. Shout out to Eric B. That's my guy, and he knows I love him. But like, he was talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier and how he thought it was great. But he thought it was great, and the first thing that he went to for why it was great was the kind of social and cultural things that are commented on in regard to what does it mean to be American and be black and all the other. And he didn't dig into it, but there is that element to that show, right? Now I think that show is mid as fuck, slightly above the rest of the mid, but still in the mid range. But I was telling him. And now to this, for the sake of this conversation, that like it doesn't need to be mutually exclusive. Joe, my dear friend, loves the representation of Shang. Shang from Hong Kong, who does Hong Kong Kung Fu.
Dude. He's hilarious.
Shang-Chi, having that level of representation for him, who is of Chinese descent, that is important for him. And that makes sense to me. But those things can be present and appreciated and simultaneously declared mid. Like, they don't, just because one is there, it doesn't inherently make it great. But you can appreciate that and be like, man, I'm like, I think Shang-Chi's a fucking average ass Marvel movie.
Same here.
But I think it fits into the Marvel fabric. So much so that I have a Shang-Chi SH Figuarts on my shelf. I don't have a Nebula. I'm picky, right? But like, just because it checks a box, and I don't mean that in like the political way of like, oh, they're just checking boxes. I mean that in the way of like, just because it checks a box for you, where it's like, it's cool to see, I'm Chinese. I wanted to see a Chinese superhero. Now I've seen a Chinese superhero. Just because it checks that box, it doesn't also make it good. It can make it meaningful to you, but it doesn't make it inherently good.
Right.
And I feel that same way about some of the like the racial things that we are. I feel like kind of it's one of the reasons why I keep going back to The Boys. The Boys has the good guys, right? And Maeve to me is a good guy, and Starlight is a good guy to me.
Yeah.
So within the good guy crew, we have a Chinese female, a black male, white male, lesbian female, and a female. So, and a white guy. And then a
French dude.
And then a French dude who's his own ball of wax.
Yeah.
And a drug addict.
Yeah.
Right? So, a diverse group of people. And none of it feels like it's grandstanding. None of it.
Same on the opposing side.
There's
on the
not
Homelander side, it's all represented.
There's not one element of it that feels like this character is there to represent this community. It just feels like these are people in a circumstance, and people tend to be diverse. And that's real fucking life. We're in a room right now of diverse people. We have black guys, we have white guys, we have whatever the fuck Phil is. No, I'm just kidding.
Velociraptors.
Omaha 57.
He's a half dynasty, he's a velocithirster. And everybody just kind of gets along. And it wouldn't make any difference if Phil stood up right now on the top of it and he just shouted from the rooftops, I am gay. You'd be like, all right, Phil, shut up and sit down. It's fucking late at night. Sit your gay ass down. we still love you. Have a
Right.
fucking piece of cake and let's continue. Like,
Exactly.
But that is kind of the norm, I feel like. But it's like the representation of that norm is so morphed now into this like
It's weaponized almost.
yeah, it's
Yeah, like,
weaponized.
you're beat over the head with it. And I think, I mean, I was looking at Colossus over there. Like, if you change Colossus instead of being Russian to like born in California, Ukrainian. Oh yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Like, it's still missing the point. I think changing that is not a win for inclusion. I think understanding that this content that we have surrounding us is diverse and digging into it and lifting those characters like Shang-Chi out is so much better than changing the race of a popular character.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
I think it means more to it means more to the universe. It means more to the fans. I don't know.
And it means more like I'm an anti-culture war kind of guy, but it even whatever the culture war is supposed to represent, right? Equality, diversity, whatever it's supposed to in its purest form. Let's say it has one. What it's supposed to represent. That's what it is at its base. You know, like, I don't know, man. I don't feel the need, like, to change the shit.
No.
Yeah.
I just don't see the advantage of
Exactly.
it. And I feel that way, and at least I feel that way equally.
Yeah. And that's what I told him. I said before.
Because they've changed.
But I'm half surprised. Real quick, I'm half surprised that they weren't white. I'm be honest with you. Like, when you said I'm having this conversation with my friends, in my head they were all white because white people get scared as fuck. And it like as soon as I brought this conversation up, I almost made a joke. I was gonna set it up like, all right, now we're gonna have a race conversation, and I was like, listen to the white buttholes pucker up, like, because white people are scared to death to talk about it because they don't want to be labeled.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
wanna, yeah, we don't want to be labeled as racist. It's
But, like,
very scary.
But I mean, but how do we change unless we have these conversations? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's but that's what I had to tell my friends. I'm like, y'all want this change, but yet once you ask for the characters that are black to come out in the forefront, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know about Blue Marvel. They definitely didn't know about Blue Marvel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting here talking about Static,
And,
Icon, Hardware,
yeah, all the milestone characters.
Mr.
And
Terrific.
they've come
Mr.
back.
Terrific. You know what I'm
Mr.
saying?
Terrific is great.
I said, where you were complaining about turning this guy into from a white guy to a black guy, but how about we get all these black characters out here? And I went on with names of characters. You know what I'm saying? And they're just like, I've never heard of them. And then I had to come back, a little bit. I dial it back because I was getting angry. And I was like, I forgot, y'all all MCU movie cats. If it ain't on a TV
Did they know
or a
the
movie,
Luke Cage show?
yeah, but
Okay.
But dude, sometimes, man, sometimes the race matters.
yeah,
Like sometimes that shit matters. Like, to Storm, it matters.
Yeah.
To T'Challa, it matters. To fucking Guy Gardner, it matters.
yeah.
Look,
Because
where it
there's
matters, that's where it should
there's
really
no
go, though.
person that's not white that acts like fucking Guy Gardner.
But
Can we agree
in
on
that
that?
haircut?
nah, nobody's doing
He's
that.
alone.
It's just true.
Yep. And it's just sad, man.
I mean,
to me,
one thing, like what you're saying is like propping up the characters that we haven't seen yet. One of the issues that come along with that, and I watch the Bill Burr. He has a new special up. And
I got to see that.
He made a point about
It's on Netflix, Bobby.
That's the one that I canceled that, Phil.
I heard you tried to watch it.
That was the one that made me cancel. And I love Bill Burr. You know?
I'll pirate it for you,
Dude,
Send
you're
it right over.
that's because you're a clone.
But a point that he made that kind of relates to this is he's talking about the WNBA and all the feminists
Yeah,
propping
I
that
saw
up.
that.
And that's kind of the same thing here. It's like everybody screams about, changing characters or we need more diverse characters, but then when it comes time to support those characters, no one's to be found.
exactly.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, the fact that. So, and I have mixed feelings about this too. I'll be honest with you, but the Black Panther success, like that shit, like it's you're guaranteed sequels at that point. Like you're a franchise now. But that was people supporting.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I feel a way about it, a person we know, Porter, he went and saw that movie. and then he asked me about it,
Black Panther.
and I was like, yeah, and I was like, black dude, and I was like, well, what did you think of it in regard to the rest of the Marvel movies? He's like, oh, I don't watch that shit.
So he had no context at all.
No, and I was like, so you just went and saw this because of the hype, media hype surrounding the diversity of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
I think a lot of people
let
did that.
me break something down for you. You're the culture vulture now.
It's true. Yeah, because that's comic book culture. Black Panther's been around since the 1960s.
We grew up in that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
T'Challa is one of the first major black characters in comics.
But the joint that really trips me out about Black Panther, my friends and family members and stuff, even the black folks I know on Facebook, oh, Black Panther was great. Black Panther, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. But I'm
and they
like,
had no context for any of the other films.
no,
right?
my thing was this though. But I didn't see that same support for Luke Cage.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'm like,
Or Blade.
thank you. And I'm like, how are y'all even?
And
But
Blade,
there is-
Blade was
but-
like
but
the
it-
original.
Or still.
But if I was
playing
playing devil's advocate though, there are social, but Luke Cage kind of has them too, but not to the same degree. But there are social messages and stuff in Black Panther that are unique to Black Panther, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
It's the appropriate place to have some of those discussions, you know. But I don't think it inherently makes it any more black or any greater. I feel like I put a little too much emphasis on the L. And be honest with you, I put a hard L on that black. but I'll be honest, but I would take it back. I don't think it made it any more inherently black or than any other thing. But I think it was just the right tool for the right job. You want to have these discussions. This is the right character in the right movie to have those discussions. You know?
I mean, and Luke Cage had its own set of social issues taken care of.
100%.
So, and they don't cross over, and they don't need to.
Dude, that scene with Luke Cage talking to those street kids outside of the library, and he was like, right across the street houses the this, and it's named after this person who did this to this and this, and that's the only word you can think to call your brother. Like,
Yeah.
you talk about a fucking
he's
bar,
he's teaching kids.
you know,
man.
like
That's a
that
great
was
scene.
fucking crazy.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The people that I know that was all about Black Panther, go back and watch Luke Cage and be. How can you not see, you growing up in America, how can you not see yourself being more, I can relate more to Luke Cage.
Yeah, he's actually from the U.S., whereas T'Challa's from an unknown country in Africa.
I'm not going around saying Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I would say, I'm from uptown Harlem or something. I'm not even from New York.
But so I'll tell you, like, I had a conversation, and I think I brought this up before. A buddy of mine, Mickey, Braves Toy Reviews, and he's now an aspiring artist and does tremendous stuff. So you should follow him on your social medias if you can find him. But I had a conversation with him about it, about Black Panther during that era, and he was like, "Let me tell you what I fuck with about that movie." And I said, "Tell me." And he said, "There's a conversation that takes place in many black households that we don't let white people privy to about being black versus being African American." And he said to him, he wants to be considered African American. It's how he finds a sense of culture. It's how he finds a sense of heritage. It's important for him. Blah blah blah. Makes sense to me. Whatever. Salute. He said, but my wife, on the other hand, also black, is not about that shit. She wants to be referred to as a black female. That's how she finds strength and heritage, because for 400 years, in her mind, Africans didn't do shit to help me. But my own people survived. We persevered. We got through these struggles, et cetera, and I find strength in being black in America. So, and so there's these two unique dichotomies of thought regarding skin tone, and in my opinion, much more regarding culture than skin tone in America, and how that relates, and then how that relates to that film, and finding that in that film. And that, to me, I was like, dude, say less.
So
I get it.
My question is, are those two like completely opposing views? Does one view the other term as derogatory?
I think it's no. I think it's more about he made it. I can't speak for that, but he made it seem like in household it's more of a
just the way
philosophical discussion, between two different points of view. But he felt like those 2 points of view are kind of softly exposed in Black Panther, which he found charming, or endearing, maybe is a better word. Anyway, but yeah, good dude. Make some noise for us. We're on the cutting edge.
There you go.
What else you got on your nerve week? Anything or?
Okay. Last thing. So we don't talk about video games. We talked about Rage.
From Rage, yeah. I'm a big fighting game.
All right, so
That's
let's
not my
talk. So
strength.
let's
Yeah.
talk about fighting games. All right?
All right.
So me and my boys, we're all old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not playing video games like that. So once again, I'm on Google Chat.
Hey,
right?
we say youthfully challenged.
Youthfully challenged. So what I did was I called one of my people out because we used to play Street Fighter back in the day. And I said, "Hey, look, I called him out. I said, hey, look, everybody, want everybody to know he's some shit, and I'm calling him out." So it was kind of like a wrestling match. I was hyping it up every day, like calling him out. I was like, "You're not about this life. Gal's coming for you. I got an uppercut for you."
Dude.
I even had my daughter videotape, and she said, "Uncle Chris, my daddy's gonna beat you."
Dude, that sounds like Eric B. He has tournaments up for his
Eric B
daughter's
needs
sake.
to leave Joe to fuck alone. I'll say that much.
We got it so
Joe's good, man.
Joe's
we
nice.
but we got it to a point that somebody made a flyer or like online versus we streamed it on stream on
dude,
Steam.
that's badass. All right.
But I lost, of course. You know what I'm saying?
What tier? You're a Guile user?
I was pretty
Yeah.
decent, but I went from Guile to Ken to Cammy.
I never got good with Street Fighter. Yeah.
I'm not. Before I say I'm good, I switched over from people to people. Okay. So that being said, everybody was talking shit like, "Greg, yeah, you some shit. Why would you say all that?" I said, "I understand I'm some shit, but look what it got us to do, though.
Yeah, he got you together.
We're all playing the game now, and now it's like hey,
a regular routine thing.
who's online? What you doing?
you
You
gotta
trying to
buy
go?
in.
You know
So
what I'm
now
saying?
what you got to do is you got to get people in one household to do it in person,
I wish.
because then you can trash talk and it's more of an impact.
I remember that back in the days. I swear.
Where everybody's growing up doing kids, going to
Yeah.
somebody's house after school doing that
So
shit.
if we can get them, on an afternoon type deal, and we play. And it's not even Street Fighter now; it's Soul Calibur. It's
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We're about to do Mortal Kombat.
You ever play-
Too many buttons with these kids.
Did you ever play when they brought back Killer Instinct?
I never played it. I tried to play
it's
that
awesome.
on Xbox Live. I'm just like,
That original one was tough.
Yo, the
Yeah.
original-
if you could do an Ultra Combo, you was a bad motherfucker.
You
That's
was a
straight
bad
up.
motherfucker.
You know what I'm
way
saying?
That's a fact.
The gaming system is built.
I'm surprised it never got a toy line. I know it got those little statues or whatever, but like,
trash.
but I'm surprised it never got a proper toy line
That's
because it
one
did
I
have
wish
it did
they
have a
would've,
strong
yeah.
following to it.
So, I mean, Storm Collectibles is doing everything. They showed Soul Calibur now, finally. And they haven't gotten no one will get the rights to that.
Speaking of Storm Collectibles, just while we're on the topic, did we see the Mortal Kombat reveals?
I want Shiva. It looks
Shiva
awesome.
looks, but like, here's my issue. So Shiva looks great. They did Thunder. What is it? Nightbird,
Nightwolf, and
Nightwolf.
Cabal,
And they look great.
Yeah.
They look great. And they also showed
another Shao Kahn.
another Shao Kahn, but they also showed a katana. But I want to get Kano.
Yeah,
Kano
okay.
looks fantastic. It's a Mortal Kombat 3 Kano.
Okay.
They showed the same fucking prototype of katana, and it's that Mortal Kombat 2 katana, which is the trash one. Like, so now I'm like, because it's evolved.
You want the more modern look for some
now
of the
I
characters.
want not even modern. Just give me MK3 with the lace across. Like,
Yeah,
give me
I was
some
waiting for him to
sex
say he
appeal.
wants to
You know
see
what I
the
mean?
boobs.
Yeah, give me something. I'm like, who the fuck are you marketing this shit to,
Yeah.
bro?
I want them to do Jade because she has the staff and everything. She's got some weapons that come. I want
With
some
the
accessories.
boobs
Yeah.
out.
With them
Jade with the
We want
boobs
different
out.
things, my friend.
Yeah, Katana's MK2 look was
in the
weak.
words of my buddy Joe,
But also for like
we don't like this the same.
But also for like other characters like Ermac, I want him to look a little bit different, like the more modern Ermac. Where he
Yeah,
looks,
no, I feel you. I'm done. I'm done. So
You're out. Are you out on
no.
Storm?
I'm done on ninjas.
Okay.
Storm Collectibles has gotten my last ninja dollar. I'm sorry.
So if they do an Ermac or something that looks different, he's not the ninja type.
I don't know how. I only speak English. I don't know how else to say it. I'm done on ninjas. Now, if they did MK11 or something, like something crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like modern
maybe,
ones. Okay.
maybe, but like I'd be pissed. Like I would buy it and also be angry, just like Transformers fans.
Are you done on all the cyborgs too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm proper done on cyborgs because those are my favorite cyborgs. So I'm done.
Okay.
I'm happily done on cyborgs. But yeah, that Storm Collectible shit was another highlight of the show for me. But
It's cool they finally showed
Katana. They need to go
No one's
MK3. Go sexy. You never not go sexy.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause-
you're
yeah.
selling. You're selling to men, virgins,
Yeah.
and sexually frustrated people. Like those are the three people you're selling to.
Yeah.
Maybe you squeeze in a lesbian, but either way you win.
Yeah.
It's a win. Go sexy, right?
Right.
There's no heterosexual
do,
female in her 40s with disposable income that's like, I'm buying Mortal Kombat
Right,
figures.
because she's appropriate.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anything? Oh, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, that was
Chucky
it.
O, how was your nerd week?
Good. Saw Nope. Again, that I'm not going to say Nope on it, but
Oh, you.
yeah.
So do you think it's the weakest of the three? Or no? Did you like it better than Us or Get Out?
I didn't see Us. I liked Get Out.
Okay.
But I was happy to see that. Like I'm more a sci-fi guy than just the pure
same
horror.
here.
So that's what kind of got me into the theaters, and it just
Not impressed.
not really. There were a lot of elements that were. It had the potential. I think the actors did a great job. I think it could have been executed, or in reality, it probably could have been executed in 2 separate movies. But
didn't do it.
it not kind of disappointed me. And signaling disappointment. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, you saw this one.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah, that one was just felt the same.
Can we take a minute on the positive side and say that it was absolutely ridiculous to give all those children powers and then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So we all agree, right?
Yeah.
That was absurd and ridiculous. We all agree.
yeah.
I'm in agreement. No argument. Can we also agree that seeing it to November Rain makes it okay?
I didn't mind that scene. I thought it
Dude,
was fun.
November
My wife
Rain is
loves
just
that scene.
it's just one of those records.
That's as close.
Like you could have had you could have had what did fucking Stanley die from?
Old age.
Old age.
Was he sick also? I feel like he was,
I think it was just age. I
is
don't
Frank well who's fucking sick? Michael Turner
think-
was sick
he
with
had
cancer.
Yep.
You could have had Michael Turner eating a jar of Red 5, just the chemical, while smoking a cigarette, and played November Rain in the background, or Purple Rain, or Man in the Mirror, or any of those records. And I'm going to be like, you know what?
That's okay.
It's all right.
All right.
It works.
So that's as close as they've ever gotten to showing the Odin Force.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk about it in the films at all.
Phil, nobody knows what the fuck that is, bro.
Come on. Somebody else here.
Everybody's saying, oh, yeah. But nobody knows. I'm be honest with you.
It's
I'm just that
power.
guy.
It's power, right?
I mean, it's
Up top for his power.
It's supposed to be like one of the Force equivalents in Marvel to Phoenix Force and Enigma Force.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once Odin dies, it gets passed to Thor, and Thor is allowed to distribute it to other characters as he sees fit, and then take it back.
And that's an execution of that. I just
I also love at the very end. So the very end of the movie is the part that I actually like, other than Christian Bale's performance, because they show
Christian Bale was great.
They
Christian
show
Bale.
eternity, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're fine. And in the background of the statues, they show the Living Tribunal and other cosmic characters that would be part of it.
And Eternity wasn't goofy at all.
No, he was just a stoic, didn't say anything. I was like, perfect.
Just
He
sat
doesn't
like
need to say anything.
Just sat like he just joined a yoga team.
Yep.
You know.
Although I will say, like, if that movie gave us anything, seeing Natalie Portman, kind of felt, does it for me.
yeah.
She
enjoyed
did
that.
a great job.
Oh,
She
yeah,
did. She did. And
Stepped
it's-
right back into that role with no problem. But she's an actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
You're an
what
actor,
is the truth
motherfucker.
behind about her muscles being real or not?
That is true.
I don't know.
Dude, she got jacked for
Yeah.
that movie.
Because
Like,
I
in real
saw
life.
some,
I like this
saw
fucking
some
Clarence
picture of
kid.
her
This
with
guy's
that.
fucking
They was
crazy.
like, oh yeah, look, and she's smooth.
Yeah.
Arms are smooth as butter, but apparently she was cut up.
Yeah.
she got pretty swole.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
he
That's what I
showed
was
like,
saying.
there were like some training videos of her like that leaked early, and people were like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
I just
Holy
wanna,
smokes, look at them arms.
Give a quick shout out to Dante and I, who had a completely separate side conversation of just quoting True Romance lines. Hi, I'm Elliot, and I'm with the Cub Scouts of America, and I'm here to sell uncut cocaine so we can get to the jamboree. Dude, that's the best fucking movie of all time.
It is.
man.
All right,
When
I
you
gotta see it
first
all the way
brought that
through so
over,
far.
You've never seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces. I've never seen it all. The way through.
You let me know when you want to see it. You come see it at my house.
All right.
when you
Have
brought
you seen
that-
True Romance?
Nah.
when
You
brought
let me
that
know.
through-
We'll set it
All
up.
right. All right.
I bet.
You've
Okay.
seen True Romance.
I'm
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's why you guys are having a side conversation over here. Because us three were talking about other things.
Elliot,
I'm sure I've seen parts of it, not all the way through.
Elliot,
But I've heard all the quotes from you.
get on your knees.
God bless.
Something's amiss up there. I can feel it. If one thing goes fucking wrong, I guarantee you're gonna be the first motherfucker I put a hole
What
in.
is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Please, somebody come save me. Somebody come save me, please, mommy. It's like,
Like, fuck you, something's amiss. I can feel it. I'm gonna blow this motherfucker away. My favorite line from that movie, and I say it all the time, is
No, you don't.
the first time you fucking kill somebody, that's the hardest. I don't give a fuck if you're fucking Wyatt Earp or Jack the Ripper. You remember that guy in Texas? The guy up in that fucking tower killed all those people? I bet you green fucking money that first little black dot he took a beat on, that was the bitch of the bunch. First one's tough. Second one ain't no fucking Mardi Gras neither, you know, but it's better than the first. It's diluted. You know, it's a little bit more I threw up on the first one. You believe that? Now the third one, that's easy. You just level them right off. But now I do it just to watch the fucking expression change.
Wow.
that's one of the.
Bro, I love
That's
it.
one of the fucking best, like just fucking fight scene, like that whole
That
exchange
movie is
afterward.
hard as fuck.
Tony Scott.
Is it Tony Scott? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, what else, Chucky? Before I get into a True Romance deep dive,
Right.
that shit is tattooed on me.
Yeah, legit. Well, video games. I've been playing
Fire Team Elite.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, that's
I've
what
heard
Chris is
about that.
playing.
Yeah, Chris is playing that.
His kid played first, and then he played.
Chris is loving it.
Yeah, Chris liked it.
Yeah, it's great. It's imagine like Red Dead Redemption, but in feudal Japan, and it's just about a perfect execution of it. And you can do cool stuff like you can put it in black and white, like original samurai mode. You can put you can swap it out to English dialogue or Japanese dialogue with subtitles, and Japanese subtitles is the way to go. And no, just a good, beautiful game. So I've been,
Because you're a big game guy.
yeah. It's I got a PlayStation 5 recently.
Flex.
Yeah. Dude, I was hunting that thing for like, I want to say 7 months straight.
Like a 13-year-old with a hard on.
Dude, I was on so many like Walmart drops and everything, and couldn't get that system. And then finally, actually signed up with PlayStation. Had to buy it direct from PlayStation to get it. But so yeah, I've been trying to catch up on some games that might be like 1 or 2 years old. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima has been it's been great. So that's most of movies, games. That's it right now.
I can jump in.
Some of the aliens are Prey stuff.
Prey comes out in a couple weeks.
Yep.
I'm
There's
looking forward to that a
Something
lot.
from the San Diego Comic Con.
They showed a second trailer.
They showed and then they showed audience, like they showed 200 people. The movie.
That was the debut of the film.
Somebody made a good point.
Kind of excited now.
Like, I'm in. Right, I'm going to watch Prey, and then I'm going to watch The Predator, because I have not seen that yet. And then we're going to come back and do a Predator show.
Okay.
But somebody brought this to my attention recently, and now I can't unsee it. There was a special forces unit in the jungle with Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger
In the original film. Yeah.
and the dude that fought Rocky in the jungle with a predator and lost like a motherfucker.
Arnold's the only one who survived.
And now there's a guy with a bow and arrow supposed to go against him.
So the caveat, there's a caveat in the new trailer.
Can we just talk about that? Some bullshit. For just
yeah, because I was thinking, that's an obvious argument. It's like, how is
they
these
talking about
people,
the
these predator
feral?
people with bows and arrows going to take this thing on.
Yeah.
So in the new trailer, the TV spot they showed, it slows down what the creature looks like for half a second, and it doesn't have a plasma caster. It has the tri-laser sight, but it has some kind of projectile sling it uses. It's not a plasma caster, or at least, and the shield is all mechanical. It's not like a laser device or anything. So all the weapons it has seem to be more ancient,
Which
makes sense.
It's
Trash
still a
weapon.
7 foot.
It's still a 7-foot thing that has faster than light travel against
monster.
Earth.
You know exactly.
Hey, to be fair though, I mean,
And still picks up a bear in the fucking movie. In the trailer.
this is still taking place back then, so I mean, yeah, they probably lose, and then that's when he gets to fight Arnold and Apollo Creed later on anyway. So, like, we already know the ending.
I don't think they're going to have the girl lose, though, just because people would.
Well, let me.
Then I won't
No, of
watch.
course not. Of course not. Let me tell you what. My nerd week is very short because I just recorded an episode a couple days ago. So, are we familiar with Vlad TV? Anybody?
Is it a vampire TV?
So this guy Vlad, you said you were? Yeah. So DJ Vlad, he had a mixtape series in the 90s. One of his big ones, claims to fame, was he did a Biggie and a Pac one. I can't remember what the names were, but he put their old lyrics against the modern beats of like the 2000s. Some of them are fantastic blends. But then he started a YouTube channel, and he's been interviewing people ever since. He often gets accused of being an undercover agent because he asks people about their criminal relationships and activities, and people sometimes stupidly will just offer that information up like it's not going to go on YouTube with 5 million viewership and et cetera, et cetera. I think it's an unfair accusation of him. Like, there's plenty of artists that get on there that obviously have criminal connections that will dodge that shit, like fucking Ben Stiller. That being said, he interviewed Sammy the Bull Gravano, and it just came to a close, I think, recently. It's like a 22-part interview. They're like 2 to 4 minutes a piece.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. But, like, I strongly suggest everybody watch it. He usually puts an uncut version, not uncut,
Yeah,
but
I was
like unedited, like, so there strings it together. It's like a 2-hour.
So you've been
interview.
watching this in 2-minute segments as it comes out.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And my favorite one, Sammy the Bull talks about having to kill this guy in Philly, this mob guy that he sent to go kill, and puts him in the trunk, I think, of this car. They take him to some place, and he gets out, and the guy's like, hey, like, basically, like, I know what time it is. I have one request. And Sammy's like, what's the request? And he's like, can I take my shoes off? And he's like, why the fuck you want to take your shoes off? And he's like, well, I told my wife was worried because of the life that we live, you know, that this would happen. And I always told my wife, don't worry, honey, I'm going to die with my shoes off. As if to say I'm going to die at home of like old age or whatever. So when they find me and they see that my shoes are off, she'll know that I died okay. And he was like, and Sammy's like telling the story, and he's like, I fucking fell in love with this guy. Like, immediately. I killed him. Like, I 100% killed him. But he's like, but I fell in love with him, you know? But it was just like, it was such like a compelling, like, I'm always interested in the sociology of such things, right? Like, to this guy, to Sammy, like, it's all a job. Like, I do things at my job that I definitely do not want to do, but it's the job.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't think about it. It's just it's a task you have to perform. You don't really think about what it means to you or how it affects you or whatever. It's just, that's the gig is the gig. And that's how he kind of approached it. And he did these like heinous and horrendous things and fucking outright murdered this dude. But anyway, I strongly recommend it. I ended up finding out vis-a-vis that he did. There's another guy, Michael Franzese. He's another. I think he was a Lucchese guy. But he was a captain. He's also another.
I think I've seen him.
So he's come out recently.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's out all the time now talking his shit.
Yeah.
He's a little slicker and a little like, you know, but apparently they did some interview together, like some conversation together, but it's like only available through somebody's network. Like you got to buy it directly.
Of course.
But apparently during that interview, Sammy was like, because he was just talking to him and he was like doing like this with his finger, like pointing. And Sammy was like, "You fucking do that again, I will take your fucking finger and break it, and then I will fucking break your face right." These guys are 70 some years old.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like you just can't take it out of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like somewhat it's refreshing to me because I'm like, man, I hope I'm old and spicy.
That's Dante at 70.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
man.
to get
Yeah.
away
Hopefully.
He'll still slap.
I'm trying. He said I'm
Dante
trying
won't
to
give
get
you the
away
warning
from.
at 70, right? Go up
I
here
mean,
straight up.
I still give warnings. Like even at jiu-jitsu, this dude this week tried to do this what we call it's called a punch choke, and he knew what he was doing, but I have my neck is just fucking hard to get to. It's fucking stocky neck. So he's doing this move and he's digging his knuckle. He can't get here, so he's digging into my cheek, and it's hurting.
Hey, yo.
Like so. And after, everything was cool, but again, gave the warning. I'm like, look, we cool. You had a good roll. Don't do that shit again. Like if you're gonna try to execute your move, know the fucking move. If it's not fucking working, abort. Like get the fuck out of there.
Parameters.
Yeah. And he was cool about it. But again, that's the whole point. I give it a warning. You understand it. Respect it.
Yeah.
You don't respect it.
Yeah.
It gets ugly.
I hear you. So anyway, I strongly recommend the Sammy the Bull interview. It's fascinating. He talks a lot about like crime shit that he did, and apparently they tried to have him kill Al Sharpton at some point, and he said no. There was some he grew up in Bensonhurst. If you knew Bensonhurst in the 80s, and it was a very Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn, and I forget, there was 2 black kids that came into the neighborhood, and they wanted to buy, somebody was selling a bike and they wanted to buy it or something. Anyway, shit went way left, way quick. One of these kids ended up getting killed. It was questionable at first whether or not he got hit by a car or whether he was shot. I think it ended up that he was shot. As a result, Al Sharpton, they're going to march down Bensonhurst, which is that's a flex. That's a of that time in that neighborhood. And they try to get Sammy to kill Al Sharpton. And
That was a big deal.
and Sammy was like, "Are you fucking nuts?
Right.
Like I'm not
He's
gonna
on
fucking
TV
kill.
all the time.
Like there's a big fucking parade. Let him fucking walk through and it'll be done and move on. But like I'm not gonna fucking kill him. There'll be fucking 13 fucking news companies out there while I do this. Like are you insane? Like we're gonna kill Al Sharpton. Let's kill him next fucking month, 2 months from now. 6, like not now.
Right.
But anyway, it's just interesting to hear him, especially at his age, just talk about this heinous ass shit as somebody's fucking grandpa. You know what I mean? Like just like it's. I strongly recommend the interview.
That's what's up.
The only other thing that I really had to offer, I'm still watching Hamilton. You know Hamilton?
Oh yeah.
He has a show on Hulu about pharmacology, as it were.
Oh, Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Pharmacopoeia.
Yes.
So I'm working my way through that.
Yes.
Some of
Great
that
show.
stuff is fascinating. It's about him basically taking drugs.
That's on Hulu? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Vice guy, and it's about him basically taking drugs, mainly hallucinogens of some degree. But like a lot of the stuff that he's taken about, or I shouldn't say allegedly, but like that he's researching, about like dissociatives.
Oh yeah, like ayahuasca and
ketamine.
Oh yeah.
Some of it is fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Special case and whack shit.
So he spends a whole episode on ketamine, and he interviews this lady who's known as the conservative ketamine queen, and she's into ketamine heavy, but she's also very conservative about it. And she's like, "Look, like it's a tool, and the tool should be used appropriately. And it shouldn't be
It's
used
in medical
inappropriately."
all the
And
time.
it's like one of the things that she points out is like an anesthesiologist could use it and supplement what they use to put you under, and it's easier to put you under. It's easier to get you out. It's it shouldn't be viewed as just a demon. It has some demon tendencies, but it has some angelic tendencies as well. It's just how you use the tool. But he interviews this one guy who's like, I'm done talking about drugs and being out there in the public eye. I don't want to talk about drugs. And he's like, what about ketamine? He's like, oh, could you be here Monday? But he talks about it and I don't know, like that stuff to me is fascinating. Like the neurological stuff to me is fascinating. Not so much the physical stuff. Like I've felt good, in my life. I'm sure I could feel good again. Like whatever. But the stuff of like consciousness, of really unlocking consciousness is fascinating to me.
Tapping into some of those kind of core human, whether it be like a core human experience.
Yeah.
So like on some hallucinogens, people will describe, even though, they haven't talked to each other or they're in different parts of the world, they'll have a very similar description.
Like DMT.
Yes. Yeah. And that, while it's not a full-blown explanation, it does scratch the surface in terms of going
something.
Like this is a commonality of our consciousness, and
there's a layer of interconnectivity.
And the thing I like about this guy in that show is he's kind of that psychonaut where, he's not chasing a high to feel good.
No.
He's exploring those aspects of the mind, consciousness,
100%.
Awareness, and again, like safely, I think as best as one can do. I mean, he's kind of, and that idea of a psychonaut, so that explorer of the inside using different drugs, again, has, just like that lady was saying about, it's a tool. I think prudent and thoughtful use of certain chemicals, whether it be for healing ourselves in ways or for exploring our inner being.
Talk about it. And then the last thing I have is my oldest daughter walks to school with a group of friends. It's like 6 friends, 5 female and 1 male or something like that. There's 1 man. I guess there's 4 or 5 girls. They're known as the Walking Squad.
Is that what they call themselves?
That's what they call themselves. Self-proclaimed. So she had a little get-together party for the Walking Squad last night. They all came over to my house and hung out. They had pizza, they had cookies, they played some video games, they talked, they yelled crazy, but I made a couple notes.
Wait, is this what she was pre-planning before when she was looking up how to talk to friends?
They were acting crazy, and Jaina, I heard say, not that this is inherently, she's 13, but she was like, "You're all drunk. I'm the designated driver." And just those terms, I was like, like these conceptualization of these very kind of older than 13 terms.
Yeah, sure.
So this other thing that happened, Jane is into anime, and so are all these girls and boys, and they're nice kids. I like them. They're good kids, but they are allowed in some cases and unknowingly in other cases watching these animes that Jaina is not allowed to watch. And none of it is due to violence. There's just some sexual shit that I don't want Jaina to have to fucking think about or consider or worry about.
Yeah.
So one of these girls starts talking about what she's watching. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of these ones that's coming up, and among others. And they keep talking about, and Jaina's like, "I'm not allowed to watch it. I'm not allowed to watch it." And then they start like kind of ganging up on her a little bit, and I'm there, and I'm like biting my tongue, right? And I'm everything that these kids are saying is wrong. Everything from top to bottom about life, about their whole perception of reality is completely wrong. I want to interject at every point, but it's easy to let go. This one I'm having a hard time, right? So they keep going and they keep going, and this one girl who's a nice girl, but she finally pushes my button too far. And she says, "Yeah, and plus there's just so much gore. It's bloody. It's not for everybody." And I was like, "Hey, she's watched plenty of bloody things. It's not the blood that bothers me. She's watched Saw She's watched Silence of the Lambs. She's watched, and I go through like this whole like horror fest of things. And I was like, things that none of you would ever be able to see at this age. I have no problem with it whatsoever. Things that would ruin you forever. She can handle it. And then in my mind, I'm like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, and fucking tell a friend, bitch, I'm here all night. You know, is how I'm thinking in my head. You know, and then today we're talking a bit about it, and Jay's like, you know what? Can I tell you something? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, there was a conversation that came up about gore and blood and guts, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I fucking defended you on that. You caught that? I fucking had your back. That's how it is around here. Fucking all for one, fucking one for all. I fucking had you 100%. And she's like, it was a little bit embarrassing.
I was waiting. She was gonna say, yeah.
And I was like, what? And I was like, I didn't need it. And I was like, I'm here for you. And she's like, I know, but I don't need to tell them that. They feel better knowing that they can see this thing that I can't. I know I've seen stuff that they would never be allowed to see. I just let them have it. And I was like, well, you're fucking more mature than I am, and I'm not okay with that either. You know, like, I'm fucking mad about that too now. Now I'm as mad as you. But it was interesting nonetheless.
I am dreading when my daughter gets to that age where she doesn't need her daddy no more. She's 4 right now. And you know the things that's been annoying me is the daddy. In my head, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. But I have to think about stories like this, because when she gets to that age, it's going to be like, you ain't need me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how she is. Yeah. Wonderful proud dad moment I had this week. My daughter hates shots. She's 4 years old, and she's smart as shit when it comes to these shots. She knows when she's getting a shot, to a point that she goes into a doctor's office now. She tells the front desk, the nurse, then the doctor, I'm not getting no shot. This is what she's saying. She's saying like that. I'm not getting no shot. Okay. So we got her. She's about to start, school. So we had to get her vaccinated, first shot.
Yeah.
You know what she did today? I mean, that day, yesterday, matter of fact, we talked to her, explained to her. Of course, we had to bribe her with her favorite toy, LOL. But we said, if you go in there, look at us, let us hold your hand, and think about anything that's happy and anything that makes you happy, and who is your bravest superhero girl? She said, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, da-da-da-da-da. I said, you do all that, you'll be fine. You know what she did? Walked in, told the nurse, I'm ready for my shot.
Ooh, oh, shit.
I mean, shit, just like, I want my shot.
While you were saying that, back to the previous Vixen. That's another.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Give me.
Exactly.
Give me. Yep. I'll be first in line.
Yep.
Let's move on to news real quick. We have one last woo. Vince McMahon announced his retirement from WWE amid sexual misconduct investigation. I don't know shit about wrestling. I know Vince McMahon obviously as an icon and so, but like as a wrestling fan, are you a wrestling fan as well?
Not as much as I used to be.
Anybody have any thoughts on this? I just brought it in because
I mean, it's always been kind of something that's been there. What's the allegations coming
sexual
out now?
Misconduct or
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the allegations coming out now are a lot.
Because Vince McMahon is also kind of something that's always kind of just been there.
Well, it's kind of like the Bill Cosby thing. You always hear the whispers. There's always.
Man, I didn't hear any of those whispers, man. I feel bad about it. And I also feel bad that I loved him dancing coming out of the courtroom, because I know that's not right, but I also felt very good about it when they were there. Like he got out and he was, and he kept, and I know it's not right. I know. But it also made me. This is fucking Bill Huxtable. Like it's like.
What Soulja Boy say?
Am I a monster for that?
The cause, buddy.
Yeah. Dude, when he brought that up and he was like, I don't know if you should be saying that.
He might be like, like they say you got to separate the art from the artist. He might be the point where I can't separate the artist from the art in a way. Like it's the reverse for me, where it's like I love this character so much as a kid that I'm having a hard time decompartmentalizing.
Yeah, I hear you. I used to have his audio tapes like memorized, all his bits.
Oh, like his stand-up bits?
His clean comedy that I was allowed to listen to. I had tapes that I had memorized.
That my mother was like, it's pussy shit, and then put on fucking Eddie Murphy.
Well, I didn't get that.
Man.
That's what's up.
That was my childhood. That was my mother.
But yeah, it's always been kind of
turned out all right though, mostly
for the most part. We're okay.
Yeah,
right.
As I rest my arm on this box of wine,
he just finished off.
Continue.
But yeah, there's always been kind of just little whispers along the way, and just he's at that age anyway. People have been saying for years now, just the way the product's been going. This dude needs to step down. This dude needs to get out of the business. Da 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 blase. So with kind of everything piling up, I guess this ain't going away. It sounds like because
And
can we take a quick minute and make some noise for Doink the Clown never fucking hurting women and shit? He's my favorite wrestler.
How long has McMahon had his daughter taking care of the business side? Because I know
she's been a part of that. I want to say like mid 2000s maybe.
Because I know he's been the creative guy for a while, but I didn't know how long he'd not been doing business.
I'm hoping that Chris will have something to add to that.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would be here for that because I like.
So he should be back next week.
Okay.
And I might have. I don't want to spoil it, but I might have a special guest for next week also. But we have John Wick 4 trailer. Did anybody watch that?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Thoughts?
Looks good. I'll see it.
More guns, more mayhem.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Yeah,
I've seen all the other ones.
Yeah, I'll have a John Wick,
specifically,
please.
this one is. I love Donnie Yen, and he's going to be on the opposing side. Just to see them go at it will be great.
So I will take this time to have another conversation because I don't want to talk about John Wick. Fuck John. That's just dumb. But my wife and this dog.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I was curious where you're at with that.
It seems like this is happening, right?
Okay. The one she wanted.
Let me tell you something about the one she wanted. It's all of them are the ones she wants. But she found one, right? And, and I had a very specific conversation with her, and I was like, okay, look, this dog is going to change the house. We've worked hard for this house, and this dog is going to change it. When this dog passes, God forbid, the house will be different. There'll be scratches where there wasn't scratches before. There'll be stains where there wasn't stains before. The dog will inherently change the house. Fine. When those things happen, if you can promise me that you will remain in a good mood during the course of those things and not allow this dog to affect your emotional state negatively ever, I'm in. And she said, okay. And I said, sounds good. Now, what if, God forbid, you lose control of those emotions and you become angry or sad due to the interactions that this dog has, whether it's pissing on your floor, on your clothes, or doing whatever dogs do? What do we do? Because you've agreed to this thing and you said you're going to remain happy. So how do we make this right? She's like, I don't know. What do you? I was like, well, I have a couple ideas. One, you buy me one thing of my choosing with no questions asked. I want that. You got to buy it. It could be a $20 Marvel Legends figure. It could be an $800 Amiri sweatshirt. It's hard to say. It's whatever I'm feeling at that moment. Or, two, you agree to a sexual act of my choosing.
I knew he was going to say that for some reason. I just looked at him and said, he's going to say threesome.
It's Bobby.
Well,
It's Bobby.
Oh, my God.
Hold on.
And she was like, okay. And I was like, have at it. So she found this dog, Pitbull, which is I want a Pitbull, I want a female. That's my only two things. I loved it. Jasmine looked good, looked great. I'm in. I don't want a dog that looks like my previous dogs. That's my only thing. I don't want to think about previous dogs while I'm, not available. Okay. So then she just starts sending me a fuck ton of dogs. Ooh. And I'm like, all right, do we give a fuck about the dog anymore, or we just get any old dog? Because some of these dogs look like they're in the Groove Troop. Yeah, those dogs are only one ears up and shit. I mean, some of these dogs is nuts. And I feel like you're not keeping the caliber of dog that you want equal. And then there was disappointment regarding that, and I was like, oh, you're already off to the wrong course. You want to ask me? I mean, you can't keep your emotions straight during this, so it's been very complicated. But we're still in the works of it. And with that, I'm going to move off.
So you're not getting one tomorrow.
No. Okay. No. I'm going out of town soon. That's another thing where it's like
Wax. Damn. Another vacation.
So it's a free vacation for what it's worth.
I know. Robert E was harassing you.
Yeah. Anybody see the I Am Groot trailer?
Yes.
Looks fine.
It's fine. I won't watch it.
I actually might watch that with the kids.
Oh yeah, well,
they might enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Groot, he's sometimes he's wearing a dress, sometimes he's wearing a cloak, he's pants. He's very today.
I'm sure the kids would like Ms. Marvel as well.
You got to start laughing louder, man. You're not doing me any justice. A lot of times I crack jokes, you're the only one laughing, and you laugh a little quietly.
I got to keep it under control.
Social media, the Snyder Cut. So this was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zack Snyder, I'm going to read this. Dude, God bless the king. According to a report by Rolling Stone, the director was ready to take action against Warner Brothers, allegedly ignoring his demands to remove both his and producer John Berg's names, Jeff Johns being his. Jeff Johns and John Berg's names from the credits of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Citing several sources who were familiar with the film's production, after the removal of John's name had been delayed, Snyder confronted a Warner Brothers executive stating, Jeff Johns and John Berger are dragging their feet on taking their names off my cut. Now I will destroy them on social media. Despite the alleged statement, Snyder insists that he never followed up with his words. The filmmaker stated that neither he nor his wife Deborah, another producer, who pushed for John's or Berg's names to be excised from the Justice League, never publicized the deal, blah, blah, blah. He said, we have never said anything negative about Jeff Johns or John Berg on social media or in interviews. It was not the movie. The director stated that he wanted the producers' names to be removed because Justice League was not the movie they believed in, developed, or helped to get made. So basically, that's what it comes down to. Snyder wants Jeff Johns, which was heartbreaking to me because Jeff Johns is fucking his contribution to DC Comics during that era is amazing. But Jeff Johns and John Berg, he wanted their names removed from the Snyder Cut because they were, as it comes out now, it wasn't even so much a Warner Brothers issue; it was a DC issue, keeping the Snyder Cut from being what it was, and he wants them fucking taken off the fucking film. And all of this happens in the same circumference as Jim Lee. Did you see this? Jim Lee, CEO of...
saying there will not be any type of continuation. He put the final foot down. He said,
Snyder Cut.
I don't care what rumors you've heard.
Snyder First is over.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking, man. Like, I don't think there's a dude that understands DC Comics the way that it should be perceived like Zack Snyder. I've never seen anything. We watched Thor 4 and 7 years ago. Came home and Laura and I were talking about the dissatisfaction with superhero movies and such. And I was like, let's just watch one scene from Snyder Cut. And we watched the scene of the hot potato mother box on Themyscira.
Okay.
Yeah. And we just were both like, that 15 minutes is better than every Marvel movie and every DC thing and every, aside from The Boys, every comic book property that we've seen in the past 2 years. Just that sequence. Like, it has so much more meaning and depth and an emotional investment. And anyway, it bums me out because like I feel, especially with seeing with the trailers that we're getting ready to speak about here shortly, that it's just empty. is a shell of whatever it could have been. Any thoughts, Chucky O, on Snyder? His contributions.
I mean,
give it to me.
That kind of it kind of sucks. I mean, you're right. Like looking back on where DC has kind of come, and when someone does get it right, and then whether it be the studio or whether it be the the people that own the IP fighting or resisting, and then you're left with like what's next. It kind of like guts you in terms of you got no hope for what will come. Like the greatness has passed.
Yeah, no, hope
the high water mark is there.
Hope is an interesting word because I don't know what I'm hopeful for anymore with any of this shit. Isn't that weird?
I like the 2 new trailers. Compared to the Marvel stuff I've just seen.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but like, I like at least the stuff that hint in it. I don't know if I feel hopeful about anything.
Yeah.
Like, with Snyder removed, I'm like, man, give me, what did give me liberty or give me death? I'm like, give me mutants or give me death.
Mm-hmm. Well, mutants is coming.
Not her, though.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I was thinking of you in terms of like, I was thinking about the new Alien IP or anything in there, and how for me, like, I feel like my bar is pretty low as an Aliens fan. If I get something that adds to the universe, expands it a little bit, and doesn't,
especially after the last one.
Yeah, and it doesn't kind of reel it back. Like, okay, like
you've been berated and worn down.
Well, and it's so there's a difference. So like the Alien versus Predator movies, those are probably
they're
like,
rough.
The way I feel about those is probably any kind of Transformer movie that's not animated, where you're just like, oh god, like. It's horrible. So I read that Snyder's out, and like listening to you over the last like few years, I was like, man, that's worse than like another bad Alien versus Predator movie.
Because there was a lot of rumors surrounding this DC event this weekend that supposedly the Snyderverse might be back on, that Cavill might be coming, that like the rumor was there's going to be a grand entrance of Snyder and Cavill into this fucking Hall H at some point and saying game on. And then to get the hard no with a hard N, which is worse than that hard L. I was just like, man, come on. Like, I don't know. Without the Matrix, there's no hope, no hope, no hope, no hope at all. Enter Sandman, the Sandman trailer for Netflix. Did anybody watch this?
I've seen it.
So I've recently canceled my Netflix subscription, which I do like. I like to talk about it. I do like to talk about it.
He likes to flex this.
Did anybody see the trailer?
That's one I didn't see.
It looked fine. It was way too long. The trailer was way too long, and it was just kind of like it didn't give you any idea what was going on. Just random people saying random things and then floating rocks.
It's something I'll watch. So
my only regret for canceling Netflix is that I was going to have this game that I played where I came into Nerd Rage every week and I watched one episode. And I acted as if I had read the books, and I hated the show, but I've never read the books, even though I know it's a slight on me because I'm not a real nerd. You got to be a real nerd and read the Sandman. But I was just going to come in and oh, it's not good. I was going to come up with a voice and the whole thing, for regardless of how I felt about it. I was just going to play the character. That's my only real regret of canceling Netflix. But okay. Jim Lee did a picture of Sandman and had him and Neil Gaiman both signed it. Neil Gaiman wrote a little poem on it.
Yeah, I think they auctioned it.
Oh, for
something.
He's pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Shazam 2 trailer. Anybody see that?
Yeah. I'm up for it.
Yep.
I think it's awful. Like, let me retract that.
Okay. Because So
I thought the trailer for the first one was awful too. and I ended up liking the movie.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for with this.
I thought that this trailer seemed like more goofy, wacky.
Okay. So they're selling that because they know Thor just came out. And they had an amount of that in the first one, but it ends up being about family, and I think this one will too. Because, I mean, who's the major wizard that Digimon Hansu, that Hansu plays, the black wizard that gives him the power.
The guy that gives him the power,
his very end line in the trailers, you guys have to work together as a family, go save your family. And I think that's going to be the heart and soul in the movie. They just don't telegraph that well in the trailer.
Yeah. It could be.
And I like the fact that they're doing the Daughters of Atlas as the villains, because that's something different. That's hasn't really been touched on a whole lot. So Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu together as those characters would be interesting. It's something that hasn't been touched on.
And I'll be honest, I don't know too much about them.
I like
and
that
that's
comment.
fine.
I feel like that's a lot like
comment he made. I've seen all the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah,
too.
I thought that.
And
I thought that was
Chris.
That was well played.
Yeah,
because
We give
everybody
a little
knows.
Chris a little love here.
Yeah, even though I can't stand those movies now, everybody knows it. It's in the zeitgeist. Every kid has seen most of those probably. So
Yeah.
and the fact that he's a kid in an adult body.
Yeah.
and Helen Mirren's like, you don't know what you're doing at all, and we're going to take it from you. And he's like, no, I've seen all the Fast and Furious.
When
movies.
does he get the wisdom of Solomon?
See, that I don't know, because that's very murky in the films.
Because he's a fucking idiot. It drives me nuts.
He's still a kid in an adult body.
But not in the books.
Yeah, it depends on which story you're reading.
Not in the stories I've read.
Yeah, I know. The more serious stories, he has the wisdom.
Yeah.
Like in Kingdom Come.
Yeah. It's like, just give the dude it's like, I've had enough already. But I'll tell you, like, I thought the same way, and I ended up quite liking the first one. And I hope that I feel the same way about this one.
And I'm hoping they tie this to the doorways and everything that was shown in the first one.
So I watched this with Laura. This was the one that she was like, I want to watch this one with you. Because when the Black Adam trailer hit, she was like, just watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. But when this one, she was like, I'll watch it with you. So we sat and we watched it together. And after it was over, I was like, it's all right. And she's like, yeah, it looks all right.
Okay.
I was like, what the fuck is this? And she's like, I don't know.
She liked the first one too, right? Okay.
Not as much as the other stuff, but, it was fine. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the first one was surprisingly well done.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was
like, I went in there thinking, okay, I'm going to watch this. And the first one was good. I was like, all right, cool.
Now, what did you think about the Black Adam trailer?
Trash.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay,
That's
so
how you really feel.
I have a smidgen of faith in The Rock because of the few performances I've seen him do as a side character where he does well, but I've never seen him do well as a lead. So that's still going to be the test of this movie. What I'm in for is the JSA in this movie.
Yeah,
and they look
great.
Spot on. I do like the fact they're making Black Adam. He's not joking at all. He's a very serious character, which I do like.
So far.
Yes. Yeah. Which I think they're purposely cutting the trailer to be the polar opposite.
He's gonna hit you with one of these.
Yeah, I think they're cutting the trailers to be the polar opposite of the Shazam trailer on purpose, editing wise.
Yeah.
To show this is a darker film. Like he doesn't.
And I do like that sequence where he hits the jets. That does look good to me.
Yeah, I think
it looks serious. It looks like
I think the effects look good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think
it looks more grounded.
Yeah, I think the fact that it shows like I don't know how much backstory they'll hear.
I hate that dude, man. I'm a hater. I'm a hater.
Look,
Make him a hater. I hate that dude.
I
don't hate The Rock.
I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good.
No movies he's been in.
There are
no movies he's been in.
Yeah, I don't like what movie he's been in.
There's like 3 films that I like that he's in, but he's always a side character. He's not the main character in those movies. So Pain and Gain, he's good in.
So I heard that's good. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was good.
One of Michael Bay's only good films.
I've heard that as well. But
yeah,
I'd like to.
Wait, whoa!
Michael Bay makes some trash movies.
He makes some good ones too, though.
Bad Boys is fine.
Bad Boys. I like Bad Boys.
Bad Boys 2.
Yeah,
I don't like Bad Boys. I like Bad Boys too.
Bad Boy.
Those
Bad
two,
Boys,
Pain and Gain, and 13 Hours are his 4 good films, and everything else he's made is kind of trash.
Yeah, 14 Hours is good.
No, 13 Hours is the other
Hours.
one. That's the other one that I said is good.
There would have been a time I would have said Transformers 2. But
And The Rock. Did he do The Rock?
Yeah.
The Rock is good.
Yeah, The Rock is good too. Yeah.
Not The Rock, the actor.
No,
he's
The Rock,
awful.
the movie with when Nick Cage could do no wrong.
I know the one.
Yeah.
But So I like the fact that they're showing like him getting beaten as a young lad in Kondak before he gets.
No, I did say a young lad is nuts, but yeah, go ahead.
Like I like the fact that it's flashing some ancient history because he's technically an ancient Egyptian that's been reborn.
No, I know.
And he doesn't feel like he's a hero, which is he's originally was a villain. They've kind of made him an anti-hero because he doesn't defend his home state or whatever. So I do like the fact that they're keeping him very serious.
He is very serious.
Yeah, because they're going to slow play him going against Shazam eventually. They have to.
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah.
It looks like that's where they're putting all their chips now.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple of questions.
What'd you think of the? Did you watch the Spark Transformers thing? I put that in there too. The kids for Nickelodeon, the new Transformers. They did the trailer for the new series.
No,
Okay.
I don't even know. That might have been. You might have put that in after I did the notes. So.
Okay. Shoot.
Is it a cartoon?
It's CG.
Okay.
It looks like a good family. It's intended to be a family show. It looks like it'll make that mark.
Does Optimus Prime smile? Because I saw some toy with Optimus Prime's face. Where he's like,
no, I think he still has.
Did anybody else see that?
I think he still has.
It's like box art promotional image of Optimus Prime. And he's like,
I think he has.
His mouth is like.
I think he has the mouth guard. At least some of it.
Oh,
at least some of the time. So
nobody touched on Dungeons and Dragons.
So they only showed that. All they showed was the titling, right? And they didn't show anything else.
No, I saw a trailer.
There's a trailer.
Yeah,
for it.
I thought the trailer was for the Lord of the Rings thing.
Nah,
there's a trailer for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
there was a.
Oh shit!
There was some. I didn't watch it. I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
I was just wondering if y'all
did you watch it?
Movie
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
That's
Michelle Rodriguez is back. In a movie.
Angry.
Yeah, of course.
Angry as ever.
You know what I'm
Is she in
saying?
that?
Yeah, she's
What
in
she's
it.
supposed to be.
It was another character. Somebody that turns into like it's like a chick. She turns into like a white owl.
Damian Wayans.
Huh?
Marlon Wayans.
No.
Sean Wayans. One of the Wayans. None
No
of the
Wayne's in
Wayans.
it. No Wayne's in this one.
So how did it compare to the Lord of the Rings teaser for the prequel? Because I saw the trailer for that.
That's a double entendre because they were white chicks also.
Yeah.
I mean, I
thought that's what he was getting.
That's
at.
how I.
No, it's that the Waynes were in the
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
it's layers to that onion, Dante. And I picked up on. I want you to know that.
I forgot he was in there.
Thank
Yeah, Marlon was in that one.
Marlon
right?
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna go see it.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Look, the WoW movie was actually pretty decent.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something
Surprisingly
straight up. I don't like magic. Okay, I don't like magic.
Did you see the World of Warcraft movie?
No, I don't. No, I don't. No.
So you're not a Lord of the Rings fan.
Is it a religious
I
reason?
watched Lord
Please
of the
say
Rings.
yes.
I just don't like.
I don't like
That's why my friends have an argument. Doctor Strange. Nah, man, he magic. Something about that magic. Nah.
magic.
You give me some science. Give me some compound V. You know what I'm saying? But nah. The Aya Agamotto, I don't give a damn about that. Nah.
I love that.
So what about going like the Infinity Stone route? Did you like that stuff?
Hell
that's,
no.
Okay, that's kind of magical, but it's also like cosmic stuff. Oh, all right.
Nah, I'm good.
No magic.
So do you like, since you follow all the MCU
How do you feel about
movies,
magicians like David Copperfield or like the street
sleight of
ones like
hand.
David
Yeah.
Blaine?
Once that guy with the mask started telling you how to do everything, that's
so
what I
that's
was
the
like,
guy
yeah,
from
I'm
X-Files
done. You know what I'm saying?
Then you ain't buying
I'd rather just drop the mic now and say, nah, I'm done, man. Like,
Yeah, he shows you how he does all
he's
the
like,
tricks.
yeah, this is what really happens. I'm like, the fuck? Okay, I'm done. Thanks. That's one of those things, like,
Let me read this question. Hey, NRR crew. I hope all is well. Listening to last week's podcast, I can't remember which person said it, but they mentioned being at a good place in their lives, but drama swirling around them. I feel like that right now. Professionally, I'm in a good spot, making good money. I'm in the best health of my life since high school, maybe even better than back then, and doing well in my personal life too. Dude. However, recently in the paragraph above, in addition, he wrote a personal paragraph that he asked not to be read. To my dog needing a $5,000 surgery and my mother's 4-year-old car engine seizing up. So now I've spent $500 on fixing up my spare car to let her use it. Crap seems to be swirling around. What do you all do to try to keep your inner peace and stop swirling crap from overtaking you? And then he says, I want to thank you all for doing what you do on the pod. And Bobby, your channel. This is always an enjoyable part of my week, and I look forward. It helps me make my mind, take my mind off shit, and et cetera, et cetera. So we appreciate that, Joe S. First of all, look, man, and you've caught me in a vulnerable space, but let that fucking dog go. Like you've loved that dog, you've given that dog a good life. I don't want a dog, and it looks like we're gonna get one. If I could give you the dog that I don't want, I would do it in a heartbeat. But animals are family, and I get it, right?
Yeah.
I'm a dog mom. No, you're not, bitch. You're just a fucking woman with a dog. But like, laugh louder, Dante. Goddamn.
You hear that?
but like, if your life is going topsy turvy, right, and you've got this fucking animal that you've loved, and that is part of the family, and I get it because I love my dogs too, but like, just don't throw good money after bad. Like that shit. Life has a trajectory, you know, and
you're bringing that dog into a house and you're providing for it for a number of years, like
giving it a great life
and everything. But yeah, when people go and drop, $6,000 on a hip surgery for a dog, like, listen, I don't know, like, I didn't do that for my cat. Oh, I had a cat. And he was sick, and I was like, all right, it's his time. I've given you a good decade.
Yep.
But
we had
survival of the fittest.
And cats do not live as long as humans do. They just don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And $5,000 to repair your kid's hip. Yeah, probably good money.
Yeah. 100%.
Probably good return on investment. But
I made a choice to bring that motherfucker into the world. Yeah. I'm responsible.
Right. Yeah. But like every time I hear someone that's like, a little bit of a sob story, and again,
heart breaks.
Yeah,
of course. Sympathy out the ass. I know it doesn't come across that way, but like, I got sympathy for you. It's going to be heartbreaking. You're going to fucking cry like a baby. It's going to be like God went in and fucking turned the fucking faucet in the back of your head loose and just let all the fucking snot and fucking tears and drool out of your face while you put this dog down. But something's got to give.
And
you've given that dog. I'm sure you've given that dog a lovely home,
right,
and a lovely life. And like you can make a little box and put his little paw print on the. You can do whatever you know what I mean. Whatever helps you get past it. We have our little paw prints.
Guys upstairs.
We got little paw prints. You know what I mean? Like it's part of it, and it was fucking gut wrenching. It sucks, but like if your life is spinning out of control, do not. Like, just look at it pragmatically for just a second and love that dog and be with it as it transcends into the beyond.
Because essentially you're grasping onto that thing is the source of your own suffering. Like the tighter that you hold on to that dog and not learn to let it go, you're inflicting the suffering of your financial issues, of throwing money at it, and then when it does die, after you've invested, $5,000 in a surgery and it dies 6 months or 2 years later, it's a bigger burden. And
we needed to say that because we read your question and felt a way about it. But how do we deal with our own shit when our
me?
Yeah,
I meditate.
Really?
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Do you have your bare feet? I feel like you got your bare feet out.
No.
You don't have your bare feet out? You sit in the Indian style? A crisscross applesauce?
When I'm at home, yeah. But like I meditated a ton in the TV room at work.
No kidding.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, like after my dad passed and everything. Like riding the mopping truck.
The old mopping truck. Yep.
And, good time to just sit down and breathe. Like,
did you do it in a recliner?
Yeah.
Meditating in a recliner is trash.
So hold on, like little guided meditation. No, it's comfortable.
Laugh louder, goddammit!
No. Splits on two chairs and like
just some guided meditation. There's actually this good program on Netflix that actually has like guided meditations and. Listen, like just figuring out.
I canceled my Netflix.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
but no, a little bit of guided meditation, like learning your breath, kind of like not holding on to some of your emotions. Sometimes I think goes a long way. Got me through some hard spots.
Wow,
and when I feel the world kind of bearing in and like the anxiety and whatnot building up, 15 minutes of maybe a guided meditation, just going through my breathing.
Taking your shoes off.
Center me, take my shoes off, like feeling the carpet in between my toes.
The moment he came in my door, he kicked them shoes off. I was like, you can keep them on. He's like, I'm all right. And I was like, okay. Greg.
I mean, for me, I go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've told people this, people that come work out, you can come in there like upset, but as soon as you start pushing that weight, it's like, it's over. I mean, for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's because, you know, I live heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get that off your chest, think about what upsets you, and you just like, you know what? 9, fuck that bitch. 10. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it's just like, what was I upset about? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're letting the anger go.
yeah, and that works out for me.
Therapeutic.
I mean, I want to say, you know, also communication.
I feel like I'm going to be the only person with unhealthy ways to, but it's okay. You guys are great.
I mean, I feel like also, you know, like if you have somebody to talk to, you know what I'm saying? I communicate, you know, I talk to my wife about certain things. And, you know,
Not all things.
but you know, the stuff that counts, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. That's my thing, you know?
Yeah.
Drawing helps me. Like I don't do it as much as I should, but I try to do it now that I have a job where I can actually take a lunch break. That's what I sit and do that for a little bit. It helps me decompress. And I haven't played in a while, but yeah, drums helps too because it helps get aggression out.
Dante?
Yeah, weights have helped too.
What?
Weights have
Weights?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
back when I used to lift more. But.
Dante?
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I was gonna say jujitsu's got. I mean, it's got.
Yeah,
you
that's
talk about it a
that's
lot,
the key
so.
thing. I just go over to the gym. beat
probably
up
helped you
my
a lot.
friend.
Am I the only person that drinks that shit away?
No, that used to be it. And that was
Nobody else drinks and then sits under a table and cries for us. Like,
I mean, go in the washroom, the laundry room, and that's
no,
what the
go
fridge
ahead.
is.
Jiu-jitsu.
But no, just go over, and I let them know. It's like, no offense if shit gets a little squirrely. Just I'm working through some shit. and most of the teammates, they get it. They're cool because they can defend themselves well enough, knowing, look, this dude's a psychopath.
I'll be honest. For me, I drink and listen to music.
Music does help.
It's what
That's
helps
true.
get me away. Is a disconnect. It's like taking the jacket of life off for just a second. That and I work crazy. I work all the time. I'm constantly working on shit. It's just a distraction, right? But it's not actually dealing with the shit. Either one of them. It's just mind numbing, right? It's like something to like distract you or shroud you from the horror. So I'm not the best, but do all the healthy shit that these guys offered. Don't do what I do. To be better than me. And then we have Billings. He said, "Hey gang, whichever iteration or combo I get this week." He said, "I've had this on my mind for several weeks now. In the third episode of Obi-Wan, we're introduced to a character named Freck. If you don't recall, he was the driver of the cargo truck where Ben and Leia hitched a ride along with stormtroopers in the back." Anyway, Freck is voiced and video captured by Zach Braff, most famously known for the main star in the TV show Scrubs.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Now, Braff has voiced characters in shows and movies before, most notably Chicken Little and the movie of the same name. My pondering is this: as Freck, Zach Braff is completely unrecognizable. I've watched every episode of Scrubs numerous times, and he clearly is disguised or made up a voice for the character Freck. One might think, no big deal, he's an actor after all. My point is this: throughout media, when real actors, celebrities are cast to voice a character, they use their own voice or a variation of pitch of it. That's the reason Hollywood slaps their name on the poster and the bold credits to draw people in, because of the celebrity's clout. God bless, this fucking question is long, Billings. My point: every single time Robin Williams voiced a cartoon character, be it the genie in Aladdin or Batty from Fern Gully, we knew it was him. We know Tom Hanks is Woody, etc., etc. When we hear Peter Cullen, an actual voice actor, we can hear inflections in various characters he does: Optimus Prime, Eeyore, and then Jim Cummings, who does Winnie the Pooh and Darkwing Duck. To get to my question, thank God, how do you feel when famous actors are cast for roles and then in turn they disguise their voice? Does that defeat the fucking purpose? The shit drives me nuts. If that's the route they're going to take, I would rather them cast an actual voice actor for the role or save the budget in attaching or paying a known celebrity for use elsewhere in the movie. I've been pretty passionate about voice-over work since my youth. The first memory I recall was recognizing Starscream and Cobra Commander as the same guy, and from there, I was always able to tell who the voice actor was. It kind of ticked me off as a kid. I know this ran long. Yeah, are you fucking kidding? To set up my question, but I wanted to add one of my more recent favorite voice clips is from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I have young kids. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Mickey Mouse. It was funny. You ever seen the video of the dance they do where they kick the feet out, like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and they're like, "This is how every New York drill rapper dances." It's pretty good. And it's Jim Cummings who voices Pete. He's doing it as a pirate in this themed episode, and imitates pirate Mickey. So he does 3 levels of variation. He just really enjoys the talent. Okay, cool.
No.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me really. But I'll be honest with you, I think I generally prefer kind of not Hollywood actors to do voice acting because it seems like if I'm like, oh, it's fucking Tom Hanks, it's distracting. You know, if it's somebody that I recognize, it's somewhat distracting. But if it's a voice I don't recognize, that's my preference.
Actually, in this case, I'm totally okay with Zach Braff doing something to make it not sound like Zach Braff. Yeah. Like, I think that, and I'm no expert on voice acting, but I mean, I would imagine that, you know, is more investment in that character of like, I'm going to make it something that is separate from me. And, you know, it is this thing over here in the universe as opposed to...
He probably didn't want it to sound like his person from Scrubs because most people know what that is.
Yeah, or like, you know, oh, Ricky Gervais, like I know that guy's voice, and now like I can't not attach, you know, oh, that part of it kind of like breaks your continuity with that character, takes them out of
exactly.
And so like if maybe, I don't know, like maybe Zach Braff appreciated the world and that character enough to be like, hey, I'm going to make something different. And I think that a actual voice actor who's passionate about their craft might give it enough thought.
And these Hollywood guys, like the big actors, they got enough work. You know, spread the work around.
Right.
You know.
Well, I think with all this Star Wars stuff that's going on, like
everybody wants a piece.
Everyone wants
fucking Flea. It's getting out of control.
Yeah. Everyone getting something in there just to. I was in Star Wars at some point. Like, all right. And maybe if you're a Star Wars nerd and that's where you're able to operate and you can get a little bit part. I don't know. Personally, if I were an actor, like, I want on-screen time. I don't want just, you know, some throwaway credit behind a mask that no one sees. But I don't know.
Because there were tons of big-name celebrities that were stormtroopers at one point just because they wanted to say they did it.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But now the 501st fucking does it. It saves money on the fucking, you know, maybe but so yeah, with that, we'll do a thirst of the week since we had the Velocithirster here. Let me see if I can, and if you have a question for Nerve Rage Radio, you don't play the banjo. But as soon as that pad runs out, I will tell you where you can send your questions to. Let's see here. Oh, dude. I gotta tell you something, man.
Tell us.
This YouTube shit gets awfully trying sometimes.
Oh, you're getting messages constantly.
I mean, just all of it. Like, man, like, which one should I buy? Bro. Whichever one.
Oh, yeah, because your thing dropped today. That's right.
Nobody wants my opinion. You know which one you want to get. Just get the fucking one you want to get. Enough already.
They want to blame you if they buy like, which one did I get? And then you tell them this one. It's like, it sucked. So they can turn around and like, you told me to get this. Shut up, you fucking buddy, you dummy.
Wow, I got to go down pretty far. You've been a little quiet this week, Phil.
Yeah, I've been busy with work.
What?
I haven't paid attention.
Dude, what? So, that's not even a good one. Oh, you comment on a dude cosplay this time.
I'm commenting on all kinds of cosplays because if they're good, I'll tell them. It's like, hey.
Hey, we all excited for Galactus now that they finally showed Inbox And on top,
It does look good.
On top,
Are you
of
in on that?
I'm not
Yeah.
getting it. Yeah.
I am too.
Wait a minute, hold on. I've been collecting heralds. I got the Thor that came with the controller.
So, yeah.
I got my Ghost Rider ready. I got Quasar. Well, I mean, that's not the herald, but I got the
So
tears.
with Quasar, they should make an epoch to go with him. And that would be appropriate.
Okay,
And they haven't done
okay.
it.
See, that's something else that, you know what I'm saying, I didn't know. And here's the thing that really killed.
Well, now I'm glad they did the Galactus because I want them to eventually do the ones that I want. I want
Yeah.
Eternity and Living Tribunal.
Here's the thing that I'm excited about. Instead of me having to go online and deal with somebody trying to hustle me,
Yeah,
I can now get a T-Rex that's going to be under $100.
Yeah.
I got my T-Rex in that falling on
really? Okay.
So
thanks to my man.
I'm going to use this one. Real quick, though, if you want to send questions to Nerd Rage Radio,
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
I'll never
So-
get tired of that.
this lady said Donna Troy, World War III, and she had like a little picture. And then you said, at Liz Wonder One is going to star as Dua Lipa in the third Wonder Woman movie at Warner Brothers Pictures. Make it happen. Fingers crossed. But like,
Because I wasn't the only person who thought she looked like Dua Lipa. Because that's kind of what the gag was.
well, so
I
I'll
was
tell
like-
you, have you heard that Jack Harlow song, Dua Lipa? So I'm not a Jack Harlow fan.
I know of him. I'm not familiar that.
But that dude's pretty bold for that record. It's like the whole chorus of the record is like Dua Lipa. I want to do more with you than do a feature.
Oh,
I mean, she's fine, dude.
Okay.
Lipa's gorgeous.
And then with that, shout out to the rest of the cool table. As far as I'm concerned, if you listen to this podcast and do or do not create a podcast of your own, you're part of the cool table as far as I'm concerned. Shout out to the rest of the people that work behind the scenes. We have Marilyn Phil who does the notes and Twitter. We
Thank
have
you.
Dante the Destroyer here who does Facebook and curses and gets snotty with people, which is perfect. And thank you to our guests, Greg and Chucky O, who both came through in the ninth inning and was willing to help us out. And join the group chat, which we can use to kind of focus that energy and get people here. And because this month has been awful, but I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Appreciate you.
And shout out, of course, to Chris and Joe. I think Chris will be back next week. Joe will be probably mid-August before we hear from him again. And then Joe and I are going to watch The Great Wall with Matt Damon, who as a white man saves China single-handedly, which I know we're all excited
Well,
about.
Tom Cruise did it, so. Tom Cruise saved Japan.
Yeah. First Japan, then China. We're working
smaller
on
island.
Korea's next. It's called the Korean War. Don't thank us later.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Send all your hate to @Bobby
I'm
Scullers.
kidding. And with that,
Oh, wax buttholes, baby.
Velvety vagina.
Small anus.
Rubbery
Lips.
glabella.
tight dick player.